sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports, 1140. It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. I've been working on this one, Chris, on a Tuesday. You might be blue, you might be red, you might be green. But today is the day we all like purple. Sacramento Kings.
Mm-hmm. You said Tuesday.
Did I?
You sure did. I was going to let you finish your thing, but I was like, it's
Wednesday. As you can tell, it's already been a long week already. As we get you ready for Kings. I gotta be careful I'm saying the right names here. I know. Kings, Raptors, take two. Davion Mitchell is back in the building. Not only are the Kings in action, another huge NBA slate coming off a evening with no NBA basketball. Maybe you caught some hockey, Sharks getting it done. Maybe you caught some college basketball, but the NBA is back. So we'll break down, obviously, the Kings and everything else as far as the NBA is concerned. We go around the NBA. We review the NFL trade deadline. We got an NFL graveyard that we're bringing back. A lot of dead teams, a lot of teams that we are going to put to bed. Of course, Nate behind the glass for us today. As we also get into Davion Mitchell's return to Sacramento, where does it rank among other returns? Your expectations for Davion Mitchell tonight, and what were your expectations for Davion Mitchell when his name was called? We take you back. We do a little way back Wednesday. And where were you when Davion Mitchell was called, and what were your initial thoughts? Were you right or wrong on the defensive guard? The Kings, where do they fall in ESPN's power rankings? We will let you know all of that. How good could this Kings team be? We also take some early returns on our question marks that we had on this team. Malik Monk and his fit, bringing Demar Derozan. Obviously, Demar Derozan and his fit. I think we know the early returns on Demar Derozan so far. Keegan Murray and his fit, as we still want Keegan to take that third-year leap. Trey Lyles, Alex Len. Let's have you be a part of the conversation as well. As I mentioned, we will go around the NBA. We'll get into some 49ers talk. We talked about that cross-talk. Excited to get back into some 49ers talk and confirm that it is Khalil Davis that the Niners got from the Texans. How much better did the Niners get? Are you happy with the Niners essentially standing pat at the deadline? We bring back a pocket watching segment. I know it's a little bit early, but hey, the standings are the standings, and you blink and all of a sudden you're 4 or 5 games behind someone. So let's see how everybody else is doing in the Western Conference and the NBA position ladder. Essentially, we are going to say names compared to Kings players. If I say De'Aaron Fox and then I say Ja Morant, it's kind of like king of the court. So you can definitely be a part of that conversation. Nate, Chris, and myself will have some fun with that. Chris Watkins, how you doing?
Good. Revenge on the mind on a Wednesday. You know, you got Davion Mitchell coming to town. The Kings trying to redeem their worst loss of the season so far. And, we're back at Golden One Center today. So feeling about as good as you can on a Wednesday here. And, we'll see how tonight goes. I think if the Kings lose 2 games to the Raptors, then there's no, long flights or hey, had to go through customs. There's no excuses for losing on a night like tonight. So hopefully the Kings understand that. Hopefully they have revenge on their minds, and hopefully it's a really quick night. I think we can all use a little bit of a quick night tonight.
Yeah, as we have Nate behind the glass, as always, going to do a great job for us. Before we get into a lot of the NBA that we have, and of course we have that NFL graveyard as well. I was sitting thinking, guys, and we posed this question before we started here in the crosstalk. Patrick Mahomes, and I don't really know what's going on with the Chiefs. It's hard to keep up with all their injuries. I know Hollywood Brown is done for the season, but I think they could get Pacheco back.
I believe so, yeah.
I honestly don't know about Rashee Rice, but if you do get Rashee Rice back, along with, because Xavier Worthy, we just have to see what he's going to end up being. Right. He's a one-trick pony right now. That's just is what it is. Obviously, you have Travis Kelce, and you had Watson going off on Monday. Man. He came out of nowhere. I think they said that was his 8th catch of the season or of his something crazy like that, Chris. And all of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes utilizes this guy. So you have him. Obviously, you have DeAndre Hopkins as that possession receiver. Whether or not they get Rashee Rice back, they're rolling. If they get Rashee Rice back, again, we're a couple weeks removed from the last time we had this conversation. Could they really pull this thing off as far as being undefeated?
It's crazy that we're even having that conversation, like especially with all the close games that they've had this year. And I'm looking at it. Rashee Rice is done for the season. Hollywood Brown, actually, funny enough, there's a lot of questions on whether or not he could return for a playoff run. Mm-hmm. And then on the Isaiah Pacheco front, he's expected to resume practicing in a couple weeks, and they're hoping that he will be available by the end of the season. So it seems like he will be late November is what they have circled for Isaiah Pacheco. So hope to get him back. Though I think Kareem Hunt has done fine. Really good job. Yeah, I think he's definitely done fine in his stead. And, I think that obviously helps out the Chiefs a lot. Like you said, I mean, it feels like they haven't really – I won't say they haven't missed their receiving targets, but they've been able to manage without them, whether it's just feeding the tight ends. Noah Gray has become a guy recently. And then, DeAndre Hopkins with his game the other day absolutely looks like he's fitting into place really, really well in Kansas City. It's possible. Like I said before, I can't believe that we're even at this point with how many close games they've had. It feels like that they've been due to kind of slip up. They still do have a game against the Bills on November 17th. That's definitely one to circle.
They got the Texans, right?
They got the Texans down the road as well. I'm looking at it December 21st. They have the Texans. That's week 16. And besides that, I mean, they have the Raiders on November 29th. They have the Chargers on December 8th, the Browns on December 15th, Steelers potentially on a Christmas Day game. That might be an interesting one with a shorter week. They play Saturday against Houston, and then Wednesday that Christmas Day game against the Steelers. I mean, those are really the ones that if it doesn't happen then, I mean, obviously those are two of the last 3 weeks of the season, but if they get through Buffalo unscathed in week 12 and week 11, I really think that's when the undefeated talk is going to hype up. And like you said, I think we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but the surprising thing, if the Chiefs are in that position, is that it doesn't feel like this is even close to the best team they've had, right? Like this is not the scariest group of talent that the Chiefs has had, and yet it's by far the most successful, and it feels like the one that, from a week-to-week standpoint, with their defense stepping up the way that it has these past couple of years, I kind of think that it really might be the biggest possibility this year.
Do you think that it's tough, right? Because you want the 1 seed, but Andy Reid's been around for a while. Right, do you think deep down he's thinking, I hope we lose one of these. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I definitely wonder, because, I mean, personally, I would want to lose. Like, as crazy as that might sound, like, I just think that when you go into especially a playoff run undefeated, I just think that hangs over your head more than anything, is that you're trying not to lose instead of trying to win. And that's just not really a good mindset to be in my opinion. It just feels like you get that one loss out of the way, you're just not thinking about it anymore. You just think about, oh man, this has been a great season, and the pressure of having it be an undefeated season, whether or not you personally care about it in the locker room, the amount of people who are going to ask about it, is it on your guys' mind? Hey, how much of a motivating factor is it? You just don't really want it to be a distraction. It's so unnecessary, and picking up one loss around the road or along the road isn't going to hurt you in the long run. I'm right there. I would personally I wouldn't tank a game, but maybe a week 18 game. Why play Patrick Mahomes, especially with we're already seeing he's dealing with an ankle injury halfway through the season. I would sit him for one of these games and just pick up a loss, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think that's probably the smart thing to do. But once you're in,
a lot easier said than done. Yeah, come on. People get so mad.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that they'd be able to do that. I think Andy Reid is hoping that because looking at the other AFC teams, nobody is close to them. The Ravens keep losing games they're not supposed to, because at least they can make an argument and say, hey, we have to play these games.
Right.
If you don't have to. Maybe it's a little bit easier there. But yeah, losing Rashid Rice, just some terrible luck, but they've managed to power through. We'll see who they go up against. A lot of people still high on the Lions. I saw that the Niners conversation is coming back into play with the Niners getting healthy at that right time. This is what they planned.
Yep.
This is how they planned it. This is how they drew it up. Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter in September. It doesn't matter in October if you're playing your best football in November or December. That is all that matters. Well, all that matters tonight is Davion Mitchell and his return. Will he ball out? What will his feelings be? What will your feelings be? We take a trip down memory lane with Davion Mitchell when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Davion Mitchell makes his return. Davion Mitchell, a.k.a. Off Night. I heard Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross talking about Davion Mitchell, but I want to get your thoughts, Chris, the 9th overall pick in 2021. He had some highs, he had some lows. I heard Chris Verlot talking about what if he was on Steph Curry more, and that faithful Beam team season, how things would have went, where things worked out, where things went wrong, that logjam of guards that the Kings have had for a very long time. Davion Mitchell, look, I'll never forget personally, Chris, I love March Madness. Number one, it's around my birthday, so that's one of the reasons why I love it.
Lock in.
Oh, I got a lot. Yeah. I'm out to Reno. I'm sure. You don't want to see me out. You don't want to see me out in Reno during March Madness. No. And to watch Davion Mitchell, the way he played and how well that Baylor team played, I got it, right? I saw the vision. The vision just didn't seem to make its way. And I do feel like these undersized college guys, it can be tricky, and you're not really sure who's going to turn out, who's not. You get a guy now offensively, just a beast, but a Kemba Walker, who pretty decent career, but based on what we saw in college, I think maybe people even thought he'd be even better in the NBA, and the list goes on and on and on. The Timberwolves, not to throw them astray, but Johnny Flynn and the guys that they decided to take, and then you do get a Steph Curry, and it does work out. Right. So these kind of undersized college guys, you really don't know what you're going to get with them. Let's take a trip down memory lane, Chris, and see if you can get some of your nostalgia flow, and not just you, but all you Sacramento Kings fans. And we'll open up the phone lines, how you felt about when you first heard this sound and your thoughts as it pertains to one Davion Mitchell. Here it is.
With the 9th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Davion Mitchell from Baylor University.
Celebrating the night with his parents, Earl and Lakeisha. His nickname is Off Night because that's what opponents are expected to have due to his defense. I mean, he is a dog at 22 years of age.
And with so many high-scoring point guards in today's game that are lead ball handlers, you're going to need a guy like this to bring toughness as well as shot making.
There it is. And look, what Jalen Rose said, I mean, it isn't that he didn't do that, right? When you hear the breakdown, and obviously we didn't get all the way into it, but it isn't that he didn't do that. It's simply that I don't know if that's what you needed at the 9th pick. But again, hindsight being 2020, Chris, this is how it went in the 2021 draft. Pistons get Cade Cunningham, Rockets get Jalen Green, Cavaliers get Evan Mobley, Raptors, Scotty Barnes, Magic, Jalen Suggs, Thunder, Josh Giddey, Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga, Magic draft Franz Wagner, Kings draft Davion Mitchell, Pelicans draft Zaire Williams, who was traded to the Grizzlies, Hornets draft James Bouknight, Spurs draft Joshua Primo, Pacers draft Chris Duarte, Warriors again with Moses Moody, and the Wizards, Corey Kispert. Last but not least, or actually these next three, honestly, Chris, Thunder draft Alperen Şengün and trade him to the Rockets at 16. Grizzlies draft Trey Murphy, who was traded to the Pelicans. 18, Thunder draft Trey Mann. 19, the Knicks draft Kai Jones. And 20, Mr. Untouchable himself, Chris, the Hawks draft Jalen Johnson. Your initial thoughts when you heard that? Where were you? What were you thinking?
I actually don't remember where I was when Davion got drafted, but I can tell you I wasn't too thrilled by it, especially at the time the Kings had Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox at the time. Yeah. And so a lot of people here, even if you like Davion in March Madness, it just didn't make much of any sense. And I think that continued even after Tyrese was traded. Like, I don't think that they had the intention of moving. I don't believe that they took Davion knowing that they were going to trade one of De'Aaron or Tyrese. I think that they legitimately thought Davion was the best available player in the draft, and also kind of saw that, you know, as we see with Malik, I think that's kind of more the role that they envisioned for Davion from a minutes perspective is we can play De'Aaron and Tyrese together, but in the minutes where one of them is off, you're still going to need another guard out there. And I think that was the thought for Davion. I don't know if he was ever really going to be drafted with the intention of him being a long-term starter. I think that was always maybe a added benefit and added hope, but I feel like he was always taken to be a backup, and that was always my fundamental problem with it, was that the Kings essentially drafted knowing that they were taking a backup player when I thought there was still other guys out there. I was huge on Franz Wagner. I was really disappointed that he ended up going a pick before the Kings. That was really the name that I had circled. But besides that, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was not an Alperen Şengün fan. There was a lot of Kings fans who were really high on Alperen Şengün. I didn't really see it because of the lack of athleticism, frankly, and he's definitely proven me wrong on that. But with Davion, I think a lot of people feel like it never made sense, but people got hopeful because of, hey, maybe he can just outperform one of those guys, or at least make it a conversation to him being a potential starter. But I think that Davion Mitchell's pick, his selection, has always kind of led Kings fans to a lot of confusion.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, because is there a part of you that feels annoyed in that? Because I'm not sure how much conversation was going on about who the Kings were interested in. Is there a part of you that feels annoyed that if Franz Wagner was available, they probably still wouldn't have taken him? Or do you think they might have taken Franz?
I mean, I thought they would have taken him only because this team has lacked a small forward for as long as I can remember. I mean, Rudy Gay is one of the best Sacramento Kings small forwards in their history. They still had Harrison Barnes. They didn't have Keegan Murray yet. It just made, to me, all the sense in the world to go with a 3. And Trey Murphy wasn't really on my radar at that point. I think Moses Moody was another name where people would have been very okay with the Kings taking, and that's almost an interesting sliding glass doors moment where we always talk about Moses Moody kills the Kings every single time he plays him. If Moody had the level of runway that Davion had in terms of, well, actually, it probably would have been more. If Moses Moody would have just been given that spot, that Keegan Murray spot, essentially, to fail, I wonder what Moses Moody would have looked like with this Kings team. That's really the one that kind of not keeps me up at night. But if I were to say realistically where the Kings would have gone, I would have guessed Moses Moody would have been it. Zaire Williams was another name that I was excited by, but there was just too much injury concern with him. I believe he tore both of his ACLs in high school and in college, or it was in high school, and he wore knee braces on both legs in college. So there was a bit of concern injury-wise around him. But I think Davion, a lot of people grew to love him for sure. And I think the thing that people always, even from day one, even with all the confusion about Tyrese or De'Aaron, where was Davion going to get his minutes, people were very excited from day one about the defensive potential of Davion. And I don't know if it lived up to people's expectations because, obviously, like you said, Chris Verlaut earlier mentioned the Kings Warriors series. And I think that's where Davion really ultimately proved his ultimate worth. But, I don't think outside of that series, I don't know how many times Kings fans really felt like Davion was oh man, we have to find as many minutes as possible for this guy.
Yeah, I'm looking here, Chris, and you know who really balled out in this draft? And this was essentially not the end because you still have Brandon Ingram on the Pelicans, but the Pelicans, they kind of did their thing. I mean, they get Trey Murphy from the Grizzlies with the 17th pick, and then after that, in the 35th pick, they draft Herb Jones. Yeah. So that was the beginning of the conversation with the Brandon Ingram thing. So they did their thing on that, but the Kings later drafted Neemias Queta. So look, these drafts, there's not typically going to be a bunch of hits. I'm just looking here at some of the other names. Thunder draft Miles McBride. I think I traded to Knicks. I guess you could call that a hit because he's still playing. I know a lot of Bulls fans are high on Ayo Dosunmu, but guys like that, once you get to the second round, anything's possible. Kessler Edwards.
I know. I was looking at through this.
Yeah,
Kessler Edwards is funny.
Yeah, went to the Nets as well. Luka Garza, who I've never actually seen Luka Garza play basketball. I mean, he's always on a bench. Yeah, but he's just never
great G-leaguer.
But he's never in the game. So that's just just what it is. I think
Cam Thomas randomly.
Cam 27. Thomas 27. Yeah. Now that's a hit. That's for sure. That's Bones Highland, who just can't get time anywhere. So and Quentin Grimes played more on the Knicks, and then we just never heard about him again. So look, you win some, you lose some. The Warriors, you got 2 picks, and are you calling either of them a hit? I mean, you signed Moses Moody, and you might lose Kuminga in free agency. I know they're excited, or restricted free agency. I know they're excited about what he's doing off the bench, but I don't even know if you call that a hit. But we'll see how the reception is for Davion Mitchell tonight, and I think he'll get a really good homecoming, really good welcoming. Yeah. All right, we know Halloween is over, but we're going to go back to the graveyard, the NFL graveyard. It's time to bury some more teams. Is your team on the chopping block? Let's find out. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Ready to pregame your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years, where aloha is served daily. Located just steps away from the arena, whether it's game day or concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. Are you planning a bigger get-together? Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options to bring those delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
Don't let cold season make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution for nasal congestion, Navage. Navage uses gentle suction to flush out your sinuses with refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all winter long. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at select Costco locations in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better fast. Check out Navage at your local Costco today. Navage, Navage. Breathe easy.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Because now at Staples, you can save up to $50 on your print purchase. From posters and flyers to signs and menus, Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. And with Staples Print Perfect Guarantee, it's done right or it's printed again free. Plus, same-day service is available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. Get it printed right at Staples. And now get up to $50 off your print purchase. N76, visit staples.com/print for details.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
From the 916, Chris, I love the Carter pick, but it's scary that we haven't hit on anything past early first round selection. What do you guys think? The problem is, it's just kind of crazy to me that we keep giving away second round picks and do not know how to draft past pick 10, it seems. Well, Davion was 9.
I believe Tyrese was 12, 11 or something like that. I mean, I get the point, is that it seems like the Kings don't want to, like, they're almost afraid to draft somebody outside of like an obvious pick. But I mean, it's been a little bit frustrating personally as well, but I think that, you know, it's just a different way of building the team. I don't necessarily think it's I think that the thing that Monty McNair would tell you is that I don't know how much young players right now are going to be the most beneficial thing to the Kings, who are trying to, you know, not really lose games because of development. They want to make sure that that the guys they're putting on the court are NBA ready. And we see right now, Mike Brown is already really struggling with trying to find guys that he trusts in his rotation. I very much doubt that rookies would curry favor with Mike Brown. You know, we see what our guy Rob Dillingham can't even get time in Minnesota, and he was a top 10 pick, and they kind of need a spot like that.
Did you see that move he had, though?
I did not.
Oh, my
I haven't seen any Rob
He finally got in. It was his first
Really?
NBA bucket.
Oh, my gosh.
And Anthony Edwards, he lost his mind on the bench. I mean, I'm telling you, Chris, you ever wonder what it looked like when Alan Stiles played basketball? Just go look at Rob Dillingham's first.
You guys saw when he checked in and the whole crowd gave a standing O for it, and the
oh my gosh, I'm seeing that now.
The play-by-play, I think it was Charlotte's play-by-play, was like, he's played before. Like, what's this about? They're just excited. The crowd's just
he
excited
came
to see
in.
him
He
get
didn't
minutes.
check in until the Wolves were up 28 points with 8 minutes to go.
He must
at
be
home.
terrible on defense.
That would be my assumption.
Yeah.
Is that he is a very slight of frame and probably can't keep anybody in front of him.
All right. Defense, offense. A lot of these teams are bad at both. Let's take a trip to the NFL graveyard. What you got, Chris?
Well, the teams that we have put to rest so far, the teams that we will not be discussing today in any capacity because they are already 6 feet under. We have the New York Football Giants, who are sitting at 2-7. That looked right for us. The New England Patriots, also 2-7. Panthers. Oh, actually, all the teams we've buried have two wins so far, so I'll just stop listing that. The Panthers, 2 wins. Titans, 2 wins. Dolphins, 2 of them things. Browns, 2-7. Do we have any regrets on any of those teams? Giants, Patriots, Panthers, Titans, Dolphins, Browns. All 2 wins. All, I believe, sitting at the bottom of their divisions.
Panthers?
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
Okay.
Panthers? They got a W?
Let's see here.
Maybe the Dolphins. One more week? No.
Yeah, the Dolphins are an interesting one just because, let me see where they stand in the conference rankings.
They got the Rams next in LA. They could easily lose that game and then really be done.
We buried them when Tua was out, and it seemed like I think it was actually the week after his concussion where it really was just incredible uncertainty. We didn't know which way it was going to lie. To be fair, they've already lost 3 in a row, actually, and a Patriots win away from being 7 in a row. So they've lost 6 of their last 7 games. Like you said, they play the Rams, then they play the Raiders, Patriots, Packers, Jets, Texans, Niners, Browns. I think I'm okay with them staying buried.
Okay.
I think so.
I agree.
Okay. So no objections there. We can revive one team a year. So far, none of us have used any of our revives. Seems like that might remain the case throughout the remainder of the season. Might have people be dead and stay dead.
You beat the Rams, and I think we'll have a conversation.
Yes, and the Rams were on our chopping block last time we did this exercise. It was very interesting to see the teams that we had on the chopping block and then have since only won. The Cardinals were another team that we had on the chopping block. They have definitely taken themselves out of the equation. The Bengals were a team that we had on the chopping block last time we did this exercise. They now have 4 wins and have ran the table since we last did this, so who knows what will change next time we do this exercise. But on the block today, we have the Jaguars sitting at 2-7. We have the Raiders sitting at 2-7. The New Orleans Saints, crazy that we're here, but they are on the chopping block at 2-7. And then we have a couple 3-win teams. The New York Jets and them Jared Jones Dallas Cowboys sitting on the block. Let's start with the Jaguars, who Alan and I have talked many times about before Dennis Allen got relieved of his duties. We thought Doug Peterson was going to be the first head coach fired or the next NFL head coach fired. Jaguars, for what it's worth, they are in the NFC South or the AFC South, obviously. Ahead of them, they have the Vikings this week. They then play the Lions, Texans, at Titans, versus Jets, Raiders, Titans, Colts to end the season.
Does seem like they did have a pretty tough schedule, the Jags.
Let's see here.
I mean, they stink, but
yeah, they had to play the Dolphins week 1 when they were still at full strength. They lost big to the Bills. They lost to the Texans. They lost to the Bears, lost to the Packers, lost to the Eagles.
Those
definitely
are all
hasn't been
good teams.
No, definitely has not been a
like
breeze by.
What's their worst loss?
Their
the
worst
Jags?
loss is either the Browns week 2, but that could be a little bit of hindsight. Again, week 2, you're still feeling good. Nothing completely has gone down the rails yet. Maybe like they had a big loss to the Bears, 35-16. That was in London, right? If I'm not mistaken, that was the game that you got the privilege to watch that game. 35-16 to the Bears is probably their worst loss.
Yeah. All right.
And then the Browns 18-13 week 2, but again, there's some caveats with that one. So are we okay with the Jacksonville Jaguars being laid to rest? Again, the next 3 weeks, they're sitting at 2-7. You would imagine you get 9 losses, and that's pretty much done for anybody. They have Vikings, Lions, Texans immediately in front of them.
Yeah, I think they are slightly better than their record based on what you just read, but it's really,
can they go 2-1 these next 3 weeks?
The reality is the reality.
To even stay alive.
No, they're done.
I agree. I think they're done. I think that's just a little bit too tall of a task. I can see them winning one of those games, and it would be a good win. I think the Vikings, Lions, and Texans have just been better teams this year, but I could see them slipping through one of them, but I feel like Doug Peterson might be done after those games. Get him the hard games, and then, you want your interim to get those easy slate. They do end the season pretty simple if they can surprise people here. Titans, Jets, Raiders, Titans, Colts to end the season. So if they can somehow manage to go 2-1, maybe there's still a chance for them, but I'm okay with them going 6 feet under.
Can you answer this question for me, Chris? If let's say what you just said happens, I'm just as a Raider fan, just dealing with the whole interim.
We'll get to them.
Dealing with the whole interim thing is always interesting. If you're deciding to let go of your head coach, why not just wait Why not just wait and not deal with the interim thing? Because then what happens is you let go of them after the tough games. Interim comes in. Team stinks. Are you actually trying to try out? Because you're not.
I don't think so. No, I think that it's just a human thing of like, there's a month left in the season, and what message are we sending if we just know that we have a lame duck coach here? At least I think the thought is that it at least sends some sort of message of, hey, there's still a month and some change left of your job. Like, we are not giving up completely. We are not just okay with the results. We're looking for some level of shakeup. I think it's more, honestly, of a PR posturing kind of thing. Let's move on to the Raiders, who have lost 4 games in a row, 5 of their last 6. Let's see here. In front of them, they have the at Dolphins. They have first Broncos, at Chiefs, at Bucks. Then to wrap up the season, versus Falcons, versus Jags, at Saints, versus Chargers. 2-7 so far. Again, it feels like if you get 9 losses, probably going to be it for you. And then the Raiders, especially with how the division is currently standing, with the Broncos being as good as they are, I think it's pretty tough to imagine the Raiders having pulling themselves out of this one.
You got Norv Turner, though.
Sure do. Yeah, you make a change there. Good luck with that.
Somebody said, having with a Marvin Lewis, Norv Turner, all the guys that they have, just what do we do? What
5 left
decade are we in right now with the Raiders?
The Raiders retirement home.
Yeah. Here, Vegas is great for that.
AARP.
Yep.
The AARP Raiders.
Emphasis in the R.
Yes.
Raider.
They're done.
Yeah, I think we're all okay with them being done. Last 2-win team that we need to discuss, the New Orleans Saints. 2-7 after starting off the season looking like one of the best teams in the NFL, beating the Panthers and the Cowboys by dropping 40-plus points. And ever since then, it has been all downhill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight losses for the New Orleans Saints. They play the Falcons this week, then the Browns, then the Rams, then at Giants, end the season versus Commanders, at Packers, versus Raiders, versus Bucks.
They're done.
7 in a row, looking like it's just going to continue.
Free Alvin.
Yeah.
Free Alvin.
I don't think there's really much to say about this team. Derek Carr is back, and they still don't look like they are back. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the hope is for the Saints right now. As obviously we didn't even mention, just fired their head coach too.
Free AK.
Right. Not great. Not
Deadline's
great.
over though.
Yeah.
What do you want? You want him just to cut him?
Just let him.
Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
after this year.
Oh,
yeah.
Just free him.
All right, 3-win teams. Really quick here. We have the New York Jets, who have been, it feels like, on the block every single week we've done this. They snap a 5-game losing streak, this past week against the Texans. Devontae Adams would tell you that they are now falling into place. They play the Cardinals, the Colts, the Seahawks, Dolphins, Jags, Rams, Bills, and Dolphins. Pretty easy stretch in front of them. Again, at Cardinals, versus Colts, versus Seahawks, at Dolphins, at Jags. Their next couple games here. I think there's actually still some hope for them, as much as I hate to say it.
I'm still alive.
Yeah, I think they should stay alive. Just for a little bit, just for the time being. Now, is that the same story for everybody's favorite team, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys? Same record, 3-5 actually. The Cowboys are. They have the Eagles, Texans, Commanders, Giants right in front of them. Then they end the season Bengals, Panthers, Bucks, Eagles, Commanders as well. Let's see here.
Jonathan Mingo.
I think they're probably done.
Yeah,
Jonathan Mingo.
I saw one move he made, one of the catches he made this
out
season.
of bounds or whatever.
That one is hilarious, though.
The tough part for the Cowboys is they would have to finish above, presumably, the NFC North third place team, as well as it looks like the NFC North and the NFC West looks like both are going to get at least 2 teams in. It would take the Cowboys leapfrogging the Eagles because, again, the Commanders and the Eagles both look like they're going to get it. This looks like it's a wrap for the Cowboys. I think.
Let's
no Dak for the next couple weeks too.
Well, I was going to say,
if
you're not a Dak guy, let's see what Cooper Rush looks like. Give him one more week. I give him one more week.
I think you just give Trey Lance. You know what Cooper Rush is by this point. You know he's a
can't
good
do
backup.
That. Jared won't.
Yeah, I know he won't do that, but just for the record, I'm down with killing all 5 of these teams.
No, leave Jets and Cowboys on.
I'd probably bury the Cowboys, but I'm okay with leaving the Jets. But we again, this is a consensus exercise. So Allen keeps the Cowboys alive; they stay alive. So Jets and Cowboys
stink.
So they stink. So there we go. There we have it. Jets and Cowboys still alive. Any of the four, just as a quick shout, any 4-win teams belong? Seahawks, Bucks, Bengals, Colts, Niners, Rams, Bears. Any of those teams? I feel like I put the Colts in there too. Are we all?
Kill the Colts.
I think we're okay. So there we go. We keep both 3-win teams alive, but we are burying the Indianapolis Colts, a 4-5 team. The Colts are officially RIP'd. So there we go. Our buried teams now include Giants, Patriots, Panthers, Titans, Dolphins, Jags, Raiders, Saints, and the Indianapolis Colts, barely holding on the Jets and the Cowboys. We will return to this exercise at a later date.
Around the NBA, on the other side, Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-290-0239. 800-290-0239. Again, that's 800-290-0239. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy.
Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, and other offers. Ends 12/1/24. Source internet search 11/2/24.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Rob Thomas, a special intimate performance.
I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna have to pay for this.
Benefiting Sidewalk Angels Foundation. One night only, Saturday, November 16th, the venue of Thunder Valley. Rob Thomas, live. For tickets now, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
Ready to make this Christmas unforgettable? Shop early and save at Prestigio Jewelers' biggest Black November sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like wipers. If your wipers are streaking, skipping, chattering, or even worse, loud, you need to visit AutoZone and get some fresh new blades. We've got basic wipers to get you back on the road, as well as premium blades from Bosch and Rain-X. So if you're hearing this, just head to your nearest AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Almost done with the 1 o'clock hour. Quick shows. It has been weird, Chris. It's been fast shows, slow days for me.
Yes, no, for sure. Yeah, it feels like once we get out of here, for sometimes for good, like it does take a very, very long time to kind of get the next show going, and then and then every time we come in here, it feels like, again, since like the season started, really, it's just been flying by. It really has.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing is, too, I always get this confused, guys, and I know I've been out here for a while. I'm one of those guys where I can drive you anywhere, but if you ask me, hey, what turn is this or what turn is that or what freeway, I'm terrible at that. About the what's is that 80 where I get off at J Street for Golden 1?
That would be 5.
That's 5?
Think, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on with 5. It's right past J Street where I exit for Natomas. I mean, the construction.
Oh, it's all over.
What are we
even
doing?
Right here on Arden is terrible.
What are we doing with
all
this
the freeways?
Construction?
All the freeways.
What are they making?
They're extending it. They're extending the freeways. Yeah. I think it's supposed to be done at the start of next year. At the end of next year, I believe.
I'm sitting in traffic all day, Chris.
Yeah, that's part of being a part of a growing, thriving city like Sacramento is that, you have too many cars out on the freeway and you need to expand the lanes.
I don't have the Draper Mercedes-Benz that just levitates.
Yeah, levitates, flies over.
The top.
No.
Like Bruce Almighty. I don't have
none of us do.
I'm not LeBron.
No.
I'm like the LaMelo Ball of the station. I don't know what's going on here, man. All right. Nate,
I like that for you. LaMelo Ball of the station.
Well, there you go. Well, his wrist is injured. He's questionable today now. I guess so am I.
Yeah.
Nate, let's take a trip around the NBA. Now that's what we like, Nate. Taking a trip around the NBA, Philadelphia 76ers center Joel Embiid has been suspended for 3 games without pay by the NBA for shoving a reporter during an altercation in the Sixers locker room Saturday night. Chris, a lot of people saying, hey, this is a bit unfair. We hate to use the word unfair, but you have Joel Embiid who had to deal with this guy talking about his family, talking about his brother who's passed away, his son, and Joel Embiid reacts to that. And I get it. You get paid a lot of money, so you got to deal with certain things. Yeah. But this guy, no repercussions there. Yeah. And Joel Embiid suspended 3 games for a team already reeling. They're 1 in something. I don't even know if they got the 2 wins yet. Fair foul, Joel Embiid getting suspended just based on the situation.
Like, I guess by the letter of the law, it's fair. Again, like if Draymond Green does this, like I think people are probably, very, very okay with the 3-game suspension, maybe are even clamoring for more. But I think knowing the nuance of the situation, yeah, it's crazy unfair. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like, again, I understand that you have to keep letter of the law sometimes, but it does feel like there needs to be some acknowledgement on the other side that this wasn't just a random act. It wasn't a player going out of line, stepping. I mean, maybe he was stepping a little bit out of bounds, but I think it was a very reasonable thing to happen. And, I think it's probably Joel's totally fine with he's not super mad at himself for picking up that 3-game suspension. It's like one of those where it's like, hey, I did what I did, no regrets at all. And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But I had to do what I had to do, and so I understand that you got to do what you got to do. But it's crazy that homeboy gets no repercussions.
No, and I guess you got more to lose if you're Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
That's like how it goes. It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes. Chris Middleton, the East is just beat up. Chris Middleton remains out indefinitely per Shams. This is what Shams had to say.
Chris Middleton and his absence has been deafening for this team. He's been out an indefinite period of time all season. It's still uncertain when he's going to be back. He has yet to be cleared, to my knowledge, for 5-on-5 scrimmaging. And the Bucks have felt throughout the season, throughout training camp, that he was a week away, 2 weeks ago. So team officials have recognized that this is taking much longer than they anticipated for Chris Middleton. There was an idea that maybe he was going to be back a couple weeks ago, but he still has not been. This is a guy that's coming off double ankle surgery, so his absence looms large on this team that's in the bottom half of the league.
There you have it. And the Bucks are struggling right now. It is not a good time if you're in the East, or I guess it's a good time if you're a team who didn't think you'd be competing. The Bucks are 1-6, last in the East. And Doc Rivers, well, all I know is it's not Doc Rivers' fault because it's never Doc Rivers' fault. So there you have it, Chris Middleton. You think this thing, I know we talked about it last week, you think this thing could implode and Giannis ends up somewhere else, or they're going to ride it till the wheels fall off?
It could. I mean, they're an older team, so if they pick up another injury here, I mean, there's no telling what could happen, and it would be insane. I mean, trading him in the middle of the year might not be the smartest thing value-wise, but teams are going to be very, very interested in Giannis's services, and I guarantee teams would be willing to give up anything at any given notice. So, the second that Milwaukee finds any more disarray, I think that hotline is going to get dialed nonstop.
Nuggets Aaron Gordon will miss multiple weeks due to a right calf strain, averaging 17.5 points per game and 7.8 rebounds per game. Might be a little ballooned up. I watched that game. He hit about 5 threes, something like that. Aaron Gordon is not going to if Aaron Gordon is needing to average 17.5 points for you, I know Jamal Murray's been out too. That's a problem. Sure. He's leading the Nuggets in 3-point percentage and true shooting. That's also a problem if you're the Nuggets, but a huge loss for the Nuggets right there.
Absolutely massive. I mean, yeah, you put that with Jamal Murray and the fact they're already not really playing to expectations. Man, I wish I went to Reno a little bit earlier, man. We could have.
You knew. We all knew.
I just couldn't get out there.
We all knew. JaVale McGee might sign with the Indiana Pacers. Indiana recently lost James Wiseman and Isaiah Jackson to season-ending Achilles tears. McGee, who's 36, last played for Sacramento last season where he averaged 4 points per game, 2.7 rebounds per game on 60% field goal percentage. Chris, would you like to see JaVale skywalking out there with your boy?
Yikes.
Tyrese Haliburton.
It'd be interesting just to maybe for anybody who feels like JaVale's got a little bit left in the tank. I mean, he probably is going to get more run there than he would get anywhere else because of those injuries. I guess, like him and Tyrese, if Tyrese is going to throw him lobs, it's the only thing it seemed like JaVale was able to do on offense. I guess, like it's probably worse things you can do. It's just you don't want to be playing JaVale heavy minutes, but I think he's fine in spurts, but emphasis on spurts.
Well, I think it works in Indiana because they run. They're running up and down, getting JaVale in space. He's not going to be sitting there trying to do post moves on guys down there. All right, I would hope not. Spurs. Jeremy Sohan has suffered a fractured left thumb and is scheduled to have surgery this week. Likely out 20 to 25 games.
Yikes.
Averaging 15.4 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Remains one of the more confusing players in the league, Chris. But, I mean, obviously a loss for the Spurs for whatever. Or not a loss if you're in the capture the flag sweepstakes.
Yeah, I guess that's maybe one way to look at it if you are the Spurs fan, because Sohan was playing really well. He has finally stopped taking one-handed free throws, which is definitely an improvement. He stopped taking one. I think he might be like in and out of it, but I haven't seen him take a one-handed free throw yet. I've only watched limited Spurs games, but he's actually been really good for them this year, not playing point guard. Yeah, I think this is probably in the Spurs' best interest, but it's obviously, you don't want to lose your younger players. It'd be better for them in a crazy world that, like, if Chris Paul goes down and that, at least you can still get some youth development. One of your young players being down and you suck. That's not the best, though. The Spurs have played fairly decent so far, 3-4.
Yeah, as we talked about the East being a mess, the least. Only teams in the East with winning records are the Celtics at 7-1 and the Cavs at 8-0. The Celtics will take on the Warriors tonight in a rematch of the 2022 finals. So it's good to be a team that you didn't think you're going to be very good. I know the Pistons have played better. I know this is going to be a really big. The problem is, could be an opportunity for the Magic. Problem is, Magic don't have Paulo Banchero. So I don't know what's going on in the East. Maybe
Brooklyn Nets
weather.
Are in third place.
The Brooklyn Nets.
Come on, shout out Jordy.
There you go. Trae Young, guys, and I double check. This is Central, not Centel. Trae Young finally cut his hair.
I got to see a picture.
Yeah, Trae Young cut his hair, so we'll see how that works out for him. No more lollipop means with a little bit of hair on top there for one. Trae Young. We'll tell you where the Kings are in ESPN Power Rankings. How good could this team be? And we have a crazy Demar Derozan stat when we return. 11 o'clock hour coming up next. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions. Plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Fall is here, and as winter approaches, your health and comfort are our top priority at Advanced Infusion Center. Whether you're managing a chronic condition or looking for IV therapy, our personalized treatments are designed just for you. Our dedicated team ensures your care is safe, comfortable, and supportive every step of the way. With locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling options, getting the care you need has never been easier. Discover compassionate care at Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit us at advancedinfusion.com for care close to home.
Hey, pet parents! With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Because now at Staples, you can save up to $50 on your print purchase. From posters and flyers to signs and menus, Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. And with Staples Print Perfect Guarantee, it's done right or it's printed again free. Plus, same-day service is available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. Get it printed right at Staples. And now get up to $50 off your print purchase. And 76, visit staples.com/print for details.
There's no better time than now to get yourself into a brand new Jeep, because it's Jeep Adventure Days
at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, offering the best deals in town and a selection other dealers are jealous of. Stop on by. They're just off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
The 11 o'clock hour is your hour. Kings hour. We're going to open up the phone lines. We're an hour into the show. We're rocking and rolling.
Oh, yeah.
We got Kings basketball tonight. Our windows are getting washed. I thought it was raining. Okay? We're serious right now. All right? Everybody is doing what they need to do. What is this, Nate?
Your hour, your quarter. That's right.
That's right. We're going to open up the phone lines right now. Who wants a beam? 916-339-1140. Who wants a beam tonight? How you feeling about your Sacramento Kings? They're back in action. Davion Mitchell coming back to town. We thought, you know what would have been interesting, Chris? About to get into these power rankings, ESPN. Would have been interesting if Sasha. I wonder what they would have done with Sasha. Obviously, there's no. Oh, is Davion getting a tribute video?
I don't know. That's a good question. Probably like a mini one. Yeah.
Or a picture.
It's one or the other. It's either going to be like a picture of like a welcome back Davion Mitchell, or it's going to be like a, they're going to play the audio that we just played of him getting drafted. Maybe, I don't know. It's really tough. I would not, seriously, we say this all the time, but like, I actually mean in no disrespect whatsoever. I don't think he deserves one. Oh, okay. Tell me how Davion Mitchell, quote unquote, would deserve one then. It's more just like
the word deserve. It's the word deserve. You look at this draft and it's right. I mean, it was just a couple years ago.
Like the accomplishments in which you have given to the team. I don't really know what like it feels like video tributes should be held for. Like Harrison Barnes was with the Kings for 6 years. Now, I would say he didn't really, again, I would say, what did he do to deserve it? But I think at least there's the answer of, well, he was with the team through thick and thin and was there for 6 years.
I know Paul George is getting one.
He definitely is. Yeah, he's definitely getting one. He's from LA. He spent years in LA. He, made multiple playoff runs. It's just Davion Mitchell was the seventh man for some good Kings teams and for the year of the Beam team. But I mean, I just don't know what he would do to deserve it.
Maybe it's a matter of just how long a video is. It's a quick video.
I think a video is still a video, it still counts. It all counts. You might as well go all in. It's more just also like, from an out, it's like hanging up a banner. It's the same thing to me where it's like, you run the risk of, not that it ultimately matters, but like you hang up a banner for a divisional title, you might get roasted. And if you give a video tribute to a guy who you just technically drafted and then, was a backup point guard for you, I don't know. You just run the risk of getting roasted. Not that it really matters.
Yeah, Davion, obviously, we can just say his career stats because he's just now kind of it's only been 8 games in this young season. 235 games. He averaged 7.5 points. 1.6 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 43.3% from the field, Chris, 32.4% from 3, 70.3% from free throw.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you. It's not that I don't hear you. Averaged 20 minutes over his 3 years, and now really right now it's a bit skewed because he's been playing 29 minutes a game with the Toronto Raptors. So he's going to get it because he has to get it, but it's not that I necessarily disagree with you. It's just that I think that bar is just fairly low in general. All right, let's get to this ESPN power rankings. Let's start. You want to start from the bottom or top, Chris?
Let's go from the top.
Let's take it from the top. Hit it, Johnny. All right, number 1, the Boston Celtics. They are 7-1. Previous ranking was 1. Number 2, the Oklahoma City Thunder, 7-0. Previous ranking was 2. The Cleveland Cavaliers, 8-0. Previous ranking was 3. They are still number 3. The Phoenix Suns, 6-1. Previous ranking, 7. They have bumped all the way up to number 4. Number 5, the Golden State Warriors, 6-1. Previous ranking was 11. They go up a good amount of spots there. Number 6, the Dallas Mavericks, record 4-3. Previous ranking 4, so they've gone down 2 spots. Number 7, the New York Knicks, 3-3. They have moved up 1 spot. Minnesota Timberwolves, 4-3. They are number 8. They have moved down 3 spots. They were previously number 5. Number 9, the Los Angeles Lakers. They have come back to earth a little bit, losing to teams like the Pistons. 4-3. Their previous ranking was 6. Number 10, the Memphis Grizzlies at 4-4. Their previous ranking was 9. Number 11, Chris, at 4-3. Previous ranking 13, the Denver Nuggets. Number 12, a team that the Kings just beat at 3-3, the Miami Heat. Their previous ranking, Chris, 18. They've moved up from 18 to 12. The Orlando Magic at 3-5 have gone down since that Paolo Banchero oblique injury. They were number 10. Now they are number 13. At number 14, the Houston Rockets. They are 4-3. Their previous ranking was 21, and now they're at 14. And at number 15, they are 4-3. The Sacramento Kings. Their previous ranking was 19. They have bumped up all the way to number 15, right smack dab in the middle. Here's the write-up. Clutch time was an Achilles heel for the Kings last season, but they were optimistic that adding Demar Derozan would alleviate those issues. They got their first taste of the Derozan and De'Aaron Fox duo in the clutch, ultimately winning them an overtime game in Atlanta. However, on Monday, the clutch time hero for the Kings was not DeRozan or Fox, but instead Domantas Sabonis, who had a buzzer-beating putback to win against the Heat, putting them above 500. Still so young in the season, Chris. They go from 19 to 15. A couple teams take some big jumps as well. I think it's all subjective after you get to 4-3. The Magic at 3-5. I think everybody was just really high on the Magic. 14, the Rockets at 4-3. I mean, Denver at 4-3 at 11. Miami Heat at 12, 3-3. I mean, we could argue about this stuff, right? We could get upset. Memphis Grizzlies, number 10 at 4-4. Sure, we could. The Lakers at 4-3, number 9. We could, but I just feel like it's a little bit early.
I feel like they should be top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
I think that some of this is just them taking the records and then putting them by record. But if you were to ask me, I think the Kings are better than the Rockets. I think they're better than the Magic right now, who don't have Paolo. I think they're better than Miami. They just beat them on the road. I think they're better than the Nuggets, who don't have 2 of their best players. I think they're better than the Grizzlies, who have lost to some really questionable teams.
Yeah.
And I think they're better than the Lakers. Yeah, the Lakers beat the Kings earlier in the year, but I think that's when the Lakers, frankly, were playing their best basketball. Since then, they're 2-3. They're 1-3. I just feel like they, again, you take the records and then you just pretty much stack them. But if you're asking me where I think the Kings actually fall in the hierarchy of this, I'd probably put them behind the Wolves, only because I do think the Wolves for most of that game, especially that second half, look like the better team. But I think 9 is probably the spot where I would have them and feel fine with it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Like I said, I'm not up in arms about it just because this is what they do with Sacramento. You win games. It would be funny if they did beat the Raptors, where they would be. Then I would if they were sitting at 5-3 and they're outside the top 10, then I'd really be ticked off. But that's the problem. I do agree with you. They get penalized more than some other teams for some bad losses. When you start a team too high, like they do with certain teams, and I'm not saying the Timberwolves starting them too high because we all respect the Timberwolves, but if you're going to throw I guess what happens is if you make the Lakers 6 and you're going to do these rankings every week so early, they have a bad week. You're not going to drop them down to 15.
Sure.
You could, and maybe you should, but if you got them at 6, they're thinking, well, we dropped them down 3 spots. Well, they probably never should have been at 6 to begin with. I think that's part of it as well. Like you said, the Memphis Grizzlies, a lot of people still high on the Memphis Grizzlies. This is what they had to say. Ja Morant has been brilliant. Yeah, Ja Morant and the assist thing, I don't know if that's going to last, but this has been insane. Ja Morant with 10 assists or more in 5 of 7 games, but 2 starters, Desmond Bane and Marcus Smart, are dealing with injuries that put them on week-to-week timelines for return, while 2 rotational players are also working back from injuries like Luke Kennard and John Conchar. All 4 missed Saturday's win in Philadelphia, along with Cam Spencer and Vince Williams Jr. Memphis's players missed a league record 578 games combined last season because of injuries, in the club hopes it's not experiencing a repeat this season, which is funny because
that's crazy. You
always look at Ja was a huge part of that. You always look at the young teams to feel like, hey, they're young, they're healthy.
Right.
Memphis, one of the youngest teams in the league.
Yeah. And the least healthiest. Yeah.
That's not a good sign. Yeah, that is not good because you're only going to get older.
Yes, exactly. And those injuries are only going to continue to stack. And, I think you better hope that Ja, who, like you said, I mean, he's playing really well so far, but he's got the ball in his hands an absolute ton. You better hope, as we're afraid here, that Mike Brown is running their starters into the ground. You better hope that Ja Morant isn't getting overutilized this early in the season, and as he's coming off some injuries as well. You definitely don't want him to kind of be exhausted from not being in basketball shape because he hasn't played basketball in really a year and a half. So, I think that they've done well to kind of keep their heads above water so far. But I think at some point here, Memphis is going to have to look at themselves as an actual team and not just, hey, can we use Ja the most that we possibly can? I think they might have to build out the rest of their roster here at some point if they want to keep up.
Yeah, and I want to dig into what you said on the other side there, Chris, because I've been on the Kings and myself, you to a certain degree, and the listeners as well, the texters, Sack chatters, and the callers as well, just as far as usage. Maybe if you take a look around the league, maybe the usage question is more of an issue within the whole league and not just the Kings. So let's dive into that real quick. The Pelicans come in at 16. They drop down 1. The Bulls at 17. The Pacers, your Indiana Pacers, at 18. The Sixers at 19. And the Atlanta Hawks at 20. On the other side, we get into that crazy DeMar DeRozan stat, early returns on our Kings question marks, and we dive into that usage question that Chris was talking about. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sactown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
The year was 1948. The Sacramento Symphony was founded. Harry Truman was president. Jerry Mathers from Leave It to Beaver was born. And Walter Keyes opened his first Naturewood home furnishing store 76 years ago on 25th and Broadway. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. All those many years ago, the Keyes family promised integrity and quality in serving families just like yours and mine. Near as I can tell, Walter would have been pretty proud to know that those same values are evident today at Naturewood Home Furnishings. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings. Furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their Veterans Day Save the Tax sale and get started making your own brand of memories. The Keyes family would love to hear them. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Here's that I wouldn't say crazy, but very impressive DeMar DeRozan stat. There are Evan Sittery, friend of the show, new Twitter picture, Chris.
Was he really?
Yeah, I just noticed that. So, good for him. As
Great
I
for him.
just
Good
caught
for
me
him.
by surprise. And he's in a suit and tie. He looks good. You look good, Evan. Can't wait to have you on the show again. 9 players are averaging at least 25 points per game while carrying a 60% true shooting percentage or better. Okay, 9 players. Kevin Durant at number 1 at 66.1%. Nikola Jokic, number 2 at 64.9%. Anthony Davis, number 3 at 64.4%. Damian Lillard, number 4 at 63.7%. Jason Tatum, number 5 at 63.2%. Giannis, number 6 at 62.8%. DeMar DeRozan at number 7, 62.5%. Chris, I just thought that was incredibly impressive, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean it's those are the elite bucket getters in the NBA, and the glory of, or the thing that I love most about the NBA or basketball in general is there's a lot of different ways of doing it. I mean, all those guys kind of have their own unique bag in how they get to their 25 points, but to have it be at a 60% true shooting percentage, DeMar is mainly a mid-range guy and somebody who can get to the rim and get to the foul line. But you also have DeMar in the same list that you have. Let's use a LaMelo Ball, for example, who just really puts him up and uses his height sometimes to finish around the rim, but mainly is doing things on the perimeter. And then you have a guy like Giannis, who it's just pretty much all rim attacks. And then on the same token, you have Kevin Durant and Nikola Jokic, who again just get it done in completely different ways. It's great that DeMar can find his niche and kind of have it be, as people talk about it being an inefficient shot because you have to shoot such a high percentage in order for it to make sense. It's just an example that, DeMar is the exception to the rule that even though mid-ranges are taboo in the NBA, if you hit it at a good enough rate, it doesn't matter what your points per possession say because you're hitting it at such a crazy rate. It almost neutralizes any of the math behind it.
So before the break in our last segment, we had brought up the conversation of usage. And when we were talking about that, you said, well, I have this list of players and their usage, and I'm talking about usage versus minutes, which kind of sparked something in the conversation because our early returns on our question marks that kind of started the season, as we talk about specifically Keegan Murray, specifically DeMar DeRozan, Trey Lyles, Alex Len, and also just the minutes in general. Do you think that the minutes conversation that I've been worried about, that some texters have been worried about, some callers have been worried about, you to some degree as well, do you think the minutes conversation is a bit overblown if the usage isn't as high as certain other players? Like, it can go hand in hand, but if you're playing, I do think you can't play 39 minutes every game, but if De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, and DeMar DeRozan, if they're playing high minutes over 35 minutes, but it's not necessarily the Anthony Edwards type, the LaMelo type, Ja Morant, I have the ball, everything, Luka, does it make you feel, or should it make you feel, or a Kings fan make you feel a little bit better about the situation? And maybe even Mike Brown feels like I'm playing them a lot of minutes, but they're not, De'Aaron Fox not handling the ball every single minute that he's in the game.
Yeah, I think that it's a great point because just not all minutes are created equal. Just because you're playing a ton of minutes doesn't necessarily mean that you're exerting a ton of effort. I'm just trying to find, I know NBA.com does like actual tracking stats for how much these guys are moving. I think that's probably the thing to look up as I'm pulling it up here. The estimated miles so far. I mean, this is really the problem, is that yes, they're playing a ton of minutes, but if you look at the NBA literally will track the mileage in which these guys run. Keegan Murray, second total distance in the NBA, 2.97 miles. De'Aaron Fox, third in the NBA, 2.89 miles. DeMar DeRozan is, let's see here, we'll just call him eighth in the NBA. He's top 10 in the NBA. They don't have it numbered. 2.77 miles. Domantas Sabonis not far behind, 2.75 miles. And so I think that's the concern, is that it's not like these guys are just standing in the corner, or even Keegan Murray. You could say, hey, Keegan Murray's just a shooter. He's not, and he doesn't have the ball in his hands. He's not creating offense. Is that really that exhausting? And I think the fact that you look at the miles traveled, now I'm assuming the Kings, hopefully in the offseason, told these guys, you're going to be running a lot and playing a lot, so be ready to be conditioned to that level. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like even if your usage isn't high, if you are physically moving all those miles, again, the second most miles per game in the NBA, it just feels like that's going to stack up.
Yeah, it definitely isn't something that the Kings should make the norm. But again, Mike Brown is looking at that bench thinking, who am I going to replace these guys with? That's just the reality of the situation. I guess the De'Aaron Fox thing is interesting because you do have Malik Monk and Keon Ellis. I mean,
for sure.
You have the DeMar DeRozan thing to me, and the DeMar, Keegan, and even Sabonis, I think, makes more sense. The De'Aaron Fox makes the least amount of sense out of those high numbers. Yeah, and I just saw a weird number here. I don't really know what to do with this, but in the per game, in the mileage stats, they also have offense and defensive miles traveled. So which one did you travel more on? Like which one per game do you usually run around more? Typically you do run around more on offense, but it's very strange that in a per game perspective, the Kings have the top 3 distance miles traveled on the defensive end per game. Keegan Murray, 1.45 miles traveled. De'Aaron Fox, 1.38. Domantas Sabonis, 1.37. Those are the 3 highest miles traveled defensively in the league. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that signifies. It might be something as simple as that maybe the Kings are a very switch happy team and or switch friendly team, I should say, and maybe they use their defenders across the board. But that to me is a really just strange stat that the Kings have 3 players, all the top 3 miles distance traveled on the defensive end. That's really, really strange to me. Yeah, well, you have to be able to find an answer somewhere. Okay, that's just what we're dealing with here. And I don't know if tonight's the night. Or, Chris, the other thing is you take care of business early. And the problem now is that we know that the basement for the Kings offense has been raised with DeMar DeRozan.
Yes.
We're still trying to figure out that ceiling, because the other thing is, hey, maybe these numbers would even out if you're beating the brakes off teams and then you're out of the game with 8 minutes left in the fourth. You're out of you don't even have to play the fourth.
No.
So that's the issue, I think, with the team right now.
All the games have been crazy close.
All the games have been close. You know you can count on a certain amount of offense, which you couldn't last season, but you're not seeing explosions that could put you in a position to where be up 30 points. Right?
Please, I'd welcome it. Please
be up 25 plus, and you can say, "Hey, we know on nights where we're facing the Celtics or the Timberwolves, these dudes, our starters are going to get 40 minutes, okay, 35 plus minutes. But if we're taking care of business against the Blazers of the world, and I think that's probably the only game where they came out, and they came out in the 2-minute mark because they were looking for their first win. If you can take care of business against those teams." Maybe it can even out that way.
Right.
But you can't do both. You can't play these guys these types of minutes every single game. And I even the Hawks game, because the Hawks game got close. So
played a ton.
None of these teams, and I get it, that they're not a lot of terrible teams, they're not a lot of great teams, they're not a lot of awful teams. When you face these lower echelon teams, you have to be able to put these teams away early if you're gonna run these dudes into the ground when you face average teams or above average teams. Another full slate of NBA basketball. We tell you who to watch, what's coming up tonight, and we get back into those early returns, the question marks. We did it from a team perspective. Let's get into it from a player perspective. Keegan, Trey, Alex, Len, you're up. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
When it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Radio's 17-year anniversary bash this Saturday night with a free tri-tip dinner. That's right, free tri-tip dinner and free late-night biscuits and gravy. So don't miss Stoney's 17-year anniversary bash this Saturday night, plus free dance lessons, sing some karaoke, or ride Stoney's mechanical ball. I'll see you on the dance floor.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com. Ready to make this Christmas unforgettable? Shop early and save at Prestigio Jewelers' biggest Black November sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry, guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emron Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting their focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Tesla, keeping it real tour.
Saturday, November 9th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Tesla, live. The multi-platinum rock band returns with special guest, Fuel. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Tesla, keeping it real tour.
Sactown Sports.
It's on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
just letting it ride a little bit. Nate's been kind of on top of it today. Nate, you've been a little bit quiet. How you doing?
Silento.
I'm okay.
Oh
no.
Maybe I'm okay.
Am I going to regret this?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm excited to be at the game tonight. Honestly, I really am.
You love going. He loves going. You were me last year.
It's like the airport.
In what way?
I was
Like
so
the
excited
airport.
to go to the games.
You know.
That's just fun. It's
Get
not
bloated on free food and
I like
cookies.
the work I get to do there. It's cool that I get to do.
You're on the floor.
Yeah, and doing videos and stuff. It's fun.
You can get a video of me and Chris watching the game.
Oh, people would love that. I think
I wouldn't.
People would really like to see that.
I think so.
I'm actually excited to. Me and Chris have had some brief conversations. He's doing a post game.
Oh yeah.
This year, he's trying to up his stream quality.
Yes.
And I'm excited to kind of see what he does with that. Kind of
I
a
am
nerdy
too. I am too.
thing, but his post game, it's only home games, right?
Yes, at the moment we're still trying to hammer out. It felt like, I just keep having people honestly blow up my phone after every game asking if I'm doing a post game, and it's one of those where you didn't realize how many people were watching or paying attention until you stopped doing it. And so we might be picking it up. I don't know. I have to have some conversations with some people.
Yeah, maybe we can get a sponsor or something.
Maybe I'll tell you what, that would help.
What
That
do you
would
mean you
definitely
might
help.
be picking it up?
Like we might be doing more road games or more games than just the home games.
If we're peeling back the curtain though, I was thinking about how you have to do that, and just like you got a Kings game, like what if you're out or you got family over or something, you got to stop everything.
That's why I asked him last.
Just the road games are tough, and it's cool.
Home
People
games
like
aren't
it,
much
though.
better. Let me tell you.
That's cool. People are texting you and like,
yeah, no,
Chris,
I mean
where you at?
it's definitely something. It's a thing that I definitely have to get ready for, and it's something that definitely takes away from some things that I would like to do, but. I think there's
Part of the
value in
game.
it, and people clearly like it and enjoy it, and I get it. So
I know I do.
Yeah, I don't want to disappoint the people.
What do you guys do in between on
I
a
love
day
photo
like
bombing, video bombing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I can always
Everybody loves to.
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. Yeah, sure. I might do it again
I don't
tonight.
think Chris really likes it.
No, I just said hi.
It's just more that I'm like in the middle of like a thought, and then people will come by, and I'm like,
but it's like different
am I
with
supposed
me,
to
though.
pass it to them, or am I just supposed to say like, hey, here's them, and then like my microphone is only able to hear me, and then they try and talk, and then I'm like, well, let me turn my. It's just
okay. I won't do that to you.
But me doing it's different.
Yeah,
Alan's special.
Yeah,
exactly.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
on a day
Jason.
like this, where we have the show's over at 2, we're
feels
back
like
at
the
the
show's
arena.
over now.
I know that we're back
Yeah.
at the arena at 5:30, right? That's when you kind of get there. What do you guys do in between? What's your mindset? Like what are you guys doing? Are you just taking a nap? Are you getting some food in?
Like in between the show,
Yeah,
and then
the
getting
show
to
and
the
going
arena,
to the game tonight.
It's honestly, I mean, not to complain about our jobs that are awesome, but like it's pretty terrible because you can't get into anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You can't really
very
eat
much
either
in
because we
between.
get fed at the stadium. So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Which again,
champagne problems.
Exactly.
Here's us
Yeah.
complaining about that.
yeah, I go home, I say what's up to my family, change.
What a concept,
and
you know?
leave. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I live a little too far away. I think I'm going to stick around down here.
There you go.
Until-
Hey,
yeah.
we'll see you out there, Nate. All right. As we talk about the games that Chris won't be able to watch because he'll be doing that awesome post game
That's right.
that you need to go check out on YouTube after the game, whether it is a W or an L. Another full slate of basketball games, guys. 4:30. You have the Warriors, and I believe this is East. I believe this is. Oh no, excuse me, because they're in Boston.
Yeah.
Warriors at Celtics. Warriors 6-1. Who would have thought? Taking on the Celtics at 7-1. Lakers at Grizzlies. I think that's going to be a good game too. We'll see what both those teams are made of. Zach Edey coming off a career night against the Nets. The Thunder undefeated, taking on the Nuggets, who have been struggling a little bit. No Jamal Murray, no Aaron Gordon. This Thunder team is reminding me of that Thunder team the last time Jamal Murray was injured, and it was Jokic, Jeff Green, and the crew, Chris. So
Great team, yeah.
that is exactly what they seem like right now. That's at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, you have the Sixers at 1-5 taking on the Clippers in Paul George's return to LA. He deserves a a video, and Harden a bit of revenge there, his time with the Sixers. That is a very confusing time. I feel like if you ask a bunch of people, Chris, when Harden, let's say his career ended tomorrow, if you ask 20 people how many teams or which team did James Harden play for, I feel like the main team that if anybody was going to forget a team, like the main team people would forget would be the Sixers. I think they remember the Nets because it was the big three.
I'd probably say Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah, it's either Brooklyn or is it 76 or something like that.
I can't forget Daryl Morey's a liar.
Yeah,
that's an all-timer. That's an all-timer.
That's also the way he was standing just cracked me up. Embiid out with that suspension, Kawhi out with that knee injury as well. And at 7:00, of course, the Raptors at 2-6. One of those 2 wins was against the Kings, though. The Kings sitting at 4-3. Davion returns to Sacramento, and the Kings look to redeem their worst loss of the season. As we early on, Chris, do some pocket watching. We look at the standings. The Oklahoma City Thunder undefeated. Of course, they're in first place. The Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors, both in second place there. The Houston Rockets, the Lakers, and the Mavericks all at 4-3. And then you get into some early tiebreakers. You have the Timberwolves at 4-3, in the 7th seed, the Nuggets and the Kings tied at 4-3. So as far as the game, this is what's crazy though, Chris. I mean, I know I'm not, we talked about the urgency. I was a little bit vindicated just because of how much the Kings wanted that game in Miami, and they had that conversation in the locker room to turn things around. It is kind of crazy to look up and say, okay, because the Thunder haven't lost, Kings are 3 games back of first place, and again, really early on in the season, but you just start stacking. If you lose tonight, I mean, the Thunder aren't going to go undefeated, but I do think it's nobody is freaking out yet, but I do think it's kind of crazy to look at some of these teams. And if you look at the East, I mean, you're the Bulls, you're the 6th seed, you're 3 and 4, you're 4.5 games back, right? So you definitely don't want to be chasing too many games too early. The bottom line is the teams, the top 3, top 4 teams are all going to go on runs. Okay. Will the Kings be one of those teams to go on a nice run? Last season, they never went on that run.
Yeah, I mean, it's a season of runs for sure. I mean, they had a nice start at the beginning of the year. They had a 5-6 game win streak at the beginning of the year. Even right now, they've won 4 of their last 5. I don't think we think of it that way, but you definitely don't want to get behind too early, but they also have 2 opportunities right in front of them to play Phoenix twice next week, starting on Sunday and then again on Wednesday. Those are 2 big opportunities where if you stack some wins leading into it, you definitely could find yourself at the number 2 seed, as Phoenix is currently 6-1. You get 2 wins on them. That then puts 2 losses on their record, and that's how the Kings could end right up at second place. I don't know if there's much illusion that the Kings are going to be the number or fight for the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. I think it's just keeping your head above that 6th seed and making sure that you're still either with the pack or leading the pack, obviously. And I think right now they've done a good job of at least staying with the pack. And obviously we know result here or there goes differently, and they're at the top or more towards the top middle of the class of teams that are kind of bunched up right now. I think this is a huge week and a half for the NBA in general. This is, again, where teams are going to start to get a little bit of separation. And some teams are going to fall behind and some are going to get a nice little cushion. I think the Kings are relatively set up pretty well to get some cushion here. And if they take care of business and beat the Suns twice or even split it, I think there's a good chance that you find them on the better half of the jumble of Western Conference teams right now that are just all, I mean, how many teams are there right now that are just sitting between 3 and 4 wins? It's pretty much the entirety of the Western Conference, all the way from the 4 seed down to, I mean, the Utah Jazz are 1-6. That's the only other team that doesn't have at least 3 wins in the Western Conference. There's so many teams that are just bundled up right now. This is the time where you're really going to find some separation for the first time this year.
Yeah, and they can do it against a team that, hey, they drew blood first, as the Toronto Raptors got that W out there in the 6. Will Drake be in attendance? We're not sure. I hope not.
Kevin Huerter might be. Sean Cunningham's putting out that Kevin Huerter went through shoot-around this morning.
There you go.
It's questionable.
There you go. And something's definitely going around, by the way. I mean, there's a couple guys that have been out with illness, so it would be great to get Kevin Huerter back on in there so the Kings would be as close to full strength as possible. On the other side, we talked about those early returns and question marks that we had at the beginning of the season. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike to the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now during our Veterans Day sale, save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery with any base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Maida Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on every new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock after rebates. All of them.
Black Friday savings now at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 12/1/24.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Drake is whack. He can't hang in the 916. That's from the 916. As the Kings will take on the Toronto Raptors. Chris, were you big on the Toronto Raptors? I know a lot of people like the throwback jerseys. Were you big on the Raptors old school jerseys with the little raptor? Did you like those back in the day?
You're talking not the ones that they wore, but not the ones that they wore the other day. You're talking about the ones that actually have the raptor on the jersey?
Yeah, just their throwback swag.
Yeah, I like some of them. I don't love the ones that they just wore the other day. I don't like that it's half black, half purple. I would prefer it to just be all purple. I think they have a version of the jerseys that look like that. And then yeah, I mean the Raptor logo is absolutely iconic for 90s kids. So I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's one of the best that you could have in sports. That and the teal Grizzlies ones, those ones live in infamy for I think a lot of 90s babies.
Yeah, the Raptor always remind me of Reptar from
for sure.
Rugrats,
Yeah,
from back in the day. Okay, let's talk early returns on our question marks, Chris. I have a list of a couple guys that we had question marks on, and I'm going to start with somebody that we haven't talked a lot about, because this is a guy that I think you thought that the Kings could see more out of, and they kind of just, I don't want to say refuse, but in a way just kind of refuse to let him flourish for whatever reason, just based on how they're playing. And when you talk about how many minutes the starters are playing, maybe he'd be able to help in some capacity. And then we'll get into the usual suspects. I want to start with Alex Len. And as the Kings bring him back again, as they have for the last couple seasons here, what are your thoughts on how Alex Len has been used? 7.4 minutes a game. That's what he's averaging. We don't really have to go through the numbers because I just don't think there's been a big enough sample size. He's played in 5 games out of the 7. I don't think there's been a big enough sample size. He did take a 3, which I thought was great. What are your early returns on Alex Len? Based on now that you've seen the team play a couple games, do you still wish that there was more Alex Len as they go with the Trey Lyles small center, the Trey Lyles movement going on? Do you still wish that there was more Alex Len, or are you thinking, okay, this is just kind of what it is now?
I don't know if I would say that I ever asked for more Alex Len. I think I just felt like he isn't. There's people who want to just take him off the floor and think he's useless, and I just think
you can't get much less though.
Serve a purpose. I mean, you could just not play him.
Yeah.
I think that would be the alternate. We saw that's how it's been for Alex for a majority of his time here in Sacramento. This is the first time that I can remember where he's actually started the season in the rotation, even to an extent. Yeah, I mean, I think he's been fine. I think he's been serviceable. Obviously, like the counting stats aren't really there at all to justify, any sort of praise or anything like that. But I think from I don't know what his plus minus is looking like right now. But again, I think that Alex Len really does exemplify what I've been saying, that it's not about the points, the rebounds, the blocks or assists with him. Especially with Alex Len, it's about not losing the Sabonis minutes. Those Sabonis minutes are where the Kings have been absolutely dominant all season long. I mean, but the second Sabonis checks out, the offense gets completely stagnant. You can blame Alex Len a little bit for that. I think it's more just how good Domantas Sabonis is and how irreplaceable of a piece he is. But I think he's been fine for what he is and what you should expect from him. Is he one of the best just straight up centers in the NBA, especially from, given what his role is? No, but I think he's very serviceable, and you can definitely do a lot worse with those minutes. And I think Alex Len has actually been a pretty decent rim protector for this team. So what you expect to get from Alex, I think, is what we've gotten from him, if not even a little bit worse in the scoring front. But I think he's been really good defensively and has been pretty decent offensively as well.
Yeah, I think we've kind of come to terms with I was just watching the Wizards and Valanciunas popped up out of nowhere. And I remember those conversations about bringing I think we just had a call yesterday about bringing in somebody and moving Sabonis to the 4. We haven't had, that was the first time it came up. So if you had that on your bingo card, there it is. It took 7 games to get there. But, the Valanciunas of the world, I think that we can kind of put the Sabonis at the 4 thing to bed. I think there were people, I think it might come back up, to be honest, Chris, with all the 3-pointers that Domantas is shooting. It might come back up, but I just don't think it's a reality. With that being said, with Domantas Sabonis at the 5, Alex Len is kind of just the perfect guy. He knows his role. You don't have to convince anybody. You don't have to convince him, hey, this is how much you're going to play. This is how much you're not going to play. Right. Kind of knows what he's getting into every single season. He's been in the league for a very, very long time. And some of the other centers that might have more skill than Alex Len, they are probably going to want more time. Yeah. So you're stuck in a position where it's Alex Len or a really young guy. We'll see what Orlando Robinson does when he gets healthy. But those are really the only two options with the type of with the way that the Kings run their team, really.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the advanced numbers, and they're really bad. The advanced numbers are really, really bad for Alex Len. He's lowest plus minus on the team at minus 5.6. You look at offensive rating amongst those guys who actually play, he's got an 89.5 offensive rating, which is 10th best on the team. It's only worse than Doug McDermott, who's gotten serious minutes. His defensive rating is the highest on the team. So when he's on the floor, it seems like the team is giving up more points than what they typically are. And then you look at the net rating, and again, it's 11th highest on the team, which is obviously not great, only behind Colby Jones and Isaac Jones, who have only played garbage time minutes and really shouldn't even count. So, saying that, I feel like eye test wise, I personally haven't been too bothered by Alex's game, but you look at just about all the stats, even the counting stats, even the advanced numbers, and they have not shown favorable for Alex Len. So that's one where, again, I'm not going to change my mind. I think Alex is a solid backup, but you look at the numbers right now, and there's really no numbers that are going to be at the aid of Alex Len right now.
So Alex Len, that was probably the easiest out of these conversations as far as the early returns. So from the easiest, Chris, to the hardest, let's go to the man, the myth, the legend himself, who decided to stay in Sacramento. It means king in Arabic, Malik Monk, and what he has done so far this season: 7 games, averaging 27.1 minutes per game. He is shooting 46% from the field, 31% from 3. He has 3.1 assists per game, 0.6 steals per game, 0.3 blocks. All right. Malik Monk, Chris, the early returns there. I think early on in the season, even though it's a very young season, Malik was definitely getting his. It seems like he's cooled off a bit. But when we looked at the conversation of this odd man out situation, I don't know if it'll be like that every night, but I definitely am not putting it to bed yet. I'm definitely not putting it to bed yet. I still feel like there could be some question marks with Malik Monk's fit. I know I thought that going into the season, but I haven't. It's early on, but I'm still not willing to sit here and say, oh yeah, I just don't think we're going to have to worry about that.
Yeah, I think it's looked good so far. He hasn't made shots, which has made things pretty tough for him. I mean, he's had 1 or 2 really big nights. First night of the season, second game, he was pretty decent. And then in that Toronto game the other night, he had 21. That was a season high. He's been okay, but again, I think some of the inconsistency, some of the up and down, you didn't really notice it because the Kings won both of those games, but he had under 10 points in the Utah and Atlanta game. In Miami game, he had 12 points as well. I think we haven't really seen the big Malik Monk pop, but I think off the bench still, you feel like he's still contributing. You feel like there's still what the Kings would want him to be there. I think it's just, again, the shooting percentages haven't quite been there. So hopefully Malik can have some more big nights, but I think it's looked fine so far from the eyeball test. I haven't really felt like, we've seen that group look clunky or anything like that. I think it's looked really good. Him as pretty much the de facto backup point guard too. I think that's been fine. And you see him and Domas really working that 2-man game again.
Yeah. And the push and pull is that he hasn't looked the same, but we understand bringing in Demar Derozan, he might not look like he looked last season from a usage perspective. It's just a matter of, okay, can Malik be efficient even if he's not getting the same amount of touches? But he is getting his opportunities. He's just got to hit on them again very early on in the season. This is why it's called early returns. And last but not least, Chris, let's go with, and we're going to do this again in the season, but last but not least, Chris, before we get to the other side, early returns on one Trey Lyles. Now, obviously, he battled injury to kind of start the season. He's been playing that backup center role, the small center situation, and he's been playing it pretty well as far as the plus and minus is concerned. It's just offensively not exactly where we'd like to see him. 7 games played. He has averaged 16.1 points per game, 28% from the field, 25% from 3-point range. He is shooting 1,000 from free throw range. He is giving you 3.1 rebounds, 0.7 assists, 0.7 steals, 0.7 blocks, 0.6 turnovers, early returns on one Trey Lyles, Chris.
It hasn't looked good. I mean, really point blank period. You read out the percentages, 28% from the field, 25% from three. Trey's got to be knocking down shots. Like, as much as he's versatile enough to play center, the only reason why he's on the floor offensively when he is a center is to stretch the floor. And if he's not stretching the floor, then he's not really doing what he needs to be doing. And I think it really is as cut as dry as that. Trey Lyles needs to hit shots, and if he's not hitting shots, he needs to rebound at a higher level. And I just don't really know when Trey is checked out, or checked in, I should say, when he's not hitting shots. I just don't really know where the production has been. The plus minus is, again, in the minus for a guy like Trey, minus 2.1 on the season so far. So you're losing minutes again with that bench unit, where it feels like that's really where they need to thrive. I haven't liked what I've seen from Trey so far, but I think a big part of it is just, is he hitting shots or not?
Yeah, it's a make or miss league. That's just what it is. All right, we take a trip around the NFL when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com. Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon.
You get the idea. And now, get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body?
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Did you know that replacing garage doors is the biggest return on investment homeowners can get on improvements? Jason Ross here, and let me tell you about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, a family-owned and operated company with third-generation owners that's been in business for 71 years right here in Sacramento. With new garage doors from Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, you'll not only get the wow factor, but you'll also know that you're working with a well-respected and proven company. Residential and commercial, brand new garage doors, or repairs to existing doors, they do it all. Take advantage of their free at-home estimates on new garage doors or check out the showroom with no appointment needed. And while you're at it, mention me, Jason Ross, or Sactown Sports and receive $100 off a new garage door paired with a new garage door opener. Check out their website at ohdsac.com or call them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Ready to make this Christmas unforgettable? Shop early and save at Prestigio Jewelers' biggest Black November sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports, 1140.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
We have hit the 12 o'clock hour. And with that being said, it's time to go around the NFL. All right, guys, let's start here with the Fins, the Dolphins. The Dolphins have only 2 QBs on their roster right now, Tua and Skylar Thompson.
Ooh.
They lost C.J. Beathard, who was poached from the practice squad by Jacksonville. Is there something brewing out there in Jacksonville? Going to save Trevor Lawrence? You're going to trade him? What's happening there?
For the record, C.J. Beathard has been with Jacksonville before, too, so they probably just like him. And
I recall that.
Yeah.
Yes, he's hung around. We need a hang-around segment where we just talk about players, specifically quarterbacks, that you don't realize are still in the league. Maybe that's a Friday thing.
I was going to say Jacoby Brissett, but everyone realizes.
No, everyone's
like Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, yeah.
Carson Wentz is a great one.
Who were we talking about yesterday, the Cardinals draft? Josh Rosen, is he around?
No. For some odd reason, I think I looked him up.
Even like Josh Johnson being the
Josh
Ravens backup.
Johnson.
Like, that's crazy.
I do think there's such an art to being a backup QB, just like Nate said, that higher ceiling guys, you get stuck in this position where you're a higher ceiling guy, but can't do the little things. So that's not you are not a good backup QB. No. So like Anthony Richardson,
Josh Dobbs,
Trey Lance, these guys not really good backup QBs because a backup QB's job is just to keep the ship afloat.
Exactly.
We don't need you. We don't need you to be
50-yard runs or nothing like that.
Like Lamar Jackson would be if he was a lesser version of Lamar would be a terrible backup.
Yes, yeah.
Because what are we supposed to do with this?
I legit think Cooper Rush is like a top 3 backup quarterback in the NFL.
We'll see.
He's
I don't know if I feel that, but we'll see.
He did ball out for a while. What was that, a couple years ago?
Yeah.
2 to 3 years ago? Was that the season when Dak messed his leg up?
The 22 season?
It must have been, right?
Oh,
I would think that it was because obviously Dak would have had to miss time, and I can't think of who else was the backup quarterback for the Cowboys.
That was when he snapped his leg early on.
Yes, that would be what I was referring
and they went.
to.
I think they went like 4-12.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Every NFL team, this is a bit surprising, guys. Every NFL team still owns their first-round pick for the 2025 draft as the trade deadline has passed.
Huh.
I like that. I think
that's interesting.
Pretty straight up. You know, everybody's going to be playing. Everybody's going to be playing their little butts off to make sure that they either get a good pick or if you're the Raiders, losing your little butts off, hopefully get a bad pick, which is a great reason, Chris. And I don't know what I love more. Chris. Airports or going to NFL Tankathon and just Tankathon in general. So let's take a look at Tankathon with everybody owning their picks this season. New England. All these teams are at 2-7. New England, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Carolina, Cleveland, Las Vegas, and the New York Giants. So if you're looking at the Cam Wards of the world, Shedeur Sanders, guys like that, hopefully not Carson Beck. Jacksonville can't do it. New England can't do it. New Orleans might do it. Carolina might do it.
We never mentioned that Shedeur Sanders tweet thing, did we? Where he's tweeting after every Raiders loss.
Yes,
thank
I saw
God
that.
or whatever.
I've seen that. What?
Thank
Yeah,
God.
I think I might have said that.
Is it just a Sunday? Is it just a Sunday special? He's just praising.
I think it's specifically
the man
Raiders
above.
losses. Let me.
Yeah, every time. So, Chris, every time the Raiders lose,
yes.
Completely.
So he's tweeted on. Oh, sorry.
Is that
The
Shador's
background
single?
music.
Stop playing Shador's song, man.
Sorry, man. I can't help it.
Play it in the background.
I know it's on my Spotify.
My God, dude.
So he tweeted on the last one, 10-27, 10-21, 10-13. So it's consistent the
every
last
time
four.
the Raiders lose.
And he says, "Thank you, God," every time. Very suspicious.
I say the same thing every time the Raiders lose.
Yeah, and you've been pulling for Shador for a while now to be a Raider, right?
This is crazy.
I'm with Shador or Cam Ward.
I'm with Shador Sanders. Perfect timing. That song's good.
I'm not the Jalen Milroe thing. I don't know if I see it, guys.
Well, you got Cam
I'm trying to
Ward.
get to the bottom of this.
You got
This is crazy.
Quinn Ewers too. Like,
I'm not against that. He can spin it.
I just think
bit.
he's nothing, like a nothing kind of.
Yeah, he's a Sam Darnold.
He's a
to
career
me.
backup guy. He's like an AJ McCarron.
No, he's a Sam Darnold to me. He's a lesser Sam.
Those
Darnold.
are very similar. Backup, just like backup guys. in the
AJ
NFL.
McCarron and Sam Darnold.
AJ McCarron.
Like their career.
Sam Darnold's much better than AJ.
Sure.
McCarron.
Okay. All right. You got me there.
I mean, we're arguing.
Yeah. This is
mid
silly.
versus
Yeah.
versus
We're having a
low.
mid off.
absolute garbage.
Having
Yeah.
a mid off. All right. The last time this happened with the draft guys, 2001 trade deadline for the 2002 NFL
This is crazy.
draft. You're still
The
on
Shador thing's
thing?
crazy. No, I looked up the last time the Raiders won a football game, and he didn't tweet "Thank you, God." Like he did
Yeah.
at September 29th. The Raiders beat the Browns, right? And there is a tweet September 9th. I'm sorry. Wait. The first "Thank you, God" actually was the following week. It was September 21st. So
There you go.
2 weeks later.
925.
Well, a week before, actually.
Assuming with the 925 area code is a Raider fan. 925 says Carson Beck. I just don't see it. 925.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look crazy, but I do not see it.
There's a lot of big names, but I don't feel like there's a lot of talent.
Yeah, I was going to
behind
ask.
those
I
names.
wonder
You're not a
how they
Cam Ward
feel
guy?
the draft quality is going to be.
Cam Ward, if your direct comparison is Anthony Richardson, then no, I'm not a Cam Ward guy. Because it's
I don't think he's like Anthony Richardson at all.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm mixing something up, but I just Cam Ward is boom or bust at like a high level,
He
right?
can
That's
throw
who
the
he
football
is.
way more accurately than Anthony Richardson.
Sure, and he's a big guy. He can run, right? I don't know if the Raiders.
I was gonna say Anthony Richardson more like Jalen Milroe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just Jalen Milroe's not nearly as big as him, right?
No, but
yeah.
Still same book, different chapter.
I'll
take Shador. If we're gonna take a swing, Chris, just take a big one at this point. I don't care.
I guess, yeah, you might as well try and get the most exciting thing possible. And I mean, it's not that Shador doesn't seem like a Raider. I think that's actually the problem, is that he seems too much like a Raider. And I mean, it could definitely be a positive thing, but I just feel like that level of, I won't say dysfunction, but just circus around the Sanders it's just a really big risk, because if it fails, it's going to fail tremendously. And if it goes well, it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be hype. It's going to bring a lot of excitement back to the Raiders. But yeah, exactly. You can flip your wrist, all of it. It'll be really exciting, but there's also a chance that it'll really be embarrassing, and it'll be, John Gruden 2.0 in a way, where it's just like, okay, you asked for all the spotlight. Well, here's the spotlight, and it's not going to be for the reasons you want. But I do think if you're the Raiders, like, what do you have to lose at this point? I mean, you're already not exciting.
Jamar Chase on getting ready for a Thursday game. Somebody said it's like cramming for tests in school. That's what one of the reporters said to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase answered, "I didn't study in school."
Yeah, of course not.
Didn't have to.
No, he was getting money from Odell Beckham Jr.
I remember hearing a interview with Andre Johnson, the running back for the Texans, and he was a
receiver.
Receiver. Oh, I'm thinking of the running back who played with Andre Johnson.
Arian Foster.
Arian Foster, excuse me. He had an interview, and he was talking about how he doesn't understand how students don't get all straight A's, because when he was in college, he just had no time because of football. It's basically a job. So he was like so disappointed in how kids use their time when they're in college, and they just
that's a funny way to look at it, but that's also, I mean, come on, I don't really know what to do with that, but I guess I mean,
if you have a light at the end of the tunnel, I'm not studying. You know?
Right? What else?
I'm going to the league.
Yeah, he's just saying to normal non-athletes, what else?
What's your excuse?
Yes, what are you spending your time doing?
Exactly.
Which
come on, Tua, get out of here.
Yeah, come on. If I could eat chips all day, then we'd have that.
Jeez.
There you go.
I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, he's not wrong, but it's just like it's not living in reality. Like, I don't want to do school. I'd rather party or hang out with friends or play video games or do whatever college kids do.
I told you that story about at Temple when we were.
I was fight story.
No. I was in class, and this kid, you know, is in class with us, and he gets called on.
That's right.
I don't know if he got called on to read something or he got called on to do, I can't remember.
I don't
but basically,
know, but it was one too many times.
Yeah, the teacher said, "Hey, do you want to blah blah blah," and the kid just said, "Man, I don't want to be here." He got up and he left.
Yeah.
You got to be left.
That's the kind of thing you can only do, I assume, when you're on scholarship.
Yeah, I do think
it
wasn't a TA, but somebody went and grabbed him and said, "You got to do this class."
Like
so
you can't
he
just
came
not
back
show
and
up.
he didn't have to say anything the rest of the semester. So he was on the field though. Saw him on the field.
That's
All
right.
Raiders are bringing in 72-year-old celebrity birthdays.
Good.
Norv Turner. Can you imagine Norv Turner with Shador? This is the type of stuff we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is like when you had
What a room.
white
Shador, AP, and North Turner.
Yeah, that is
what a conversation.
No, that reminds me of those
Davis.
memes. You know those memes where there'll be different you're in a cafeteria.
Yes, yeah,
and they'll
pick a
put
table.
Celebrities
Yeah.
at each cafeteria. What table do you want to sit at? That's literally what's happening. You got Norv Turner, Antonio Pierce, Shador Sanders at one table.
Right.
Are you sitting at that table?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, no, probably not. I mean, it'd be slightly entertaining, probably. I'm sure Shador is a character. AP is definitely not shy.
Yeah.
But no, probably not the most interesting conversations going on.
Garrett Wilson and Saquon Barkley named Offensive Players of the Week after their incredible plays. I mean, to be honest, you pair both of those plays together. That's probably for whatever it's worth, the best combo of offensive plays in 1 week. Maybe in NFL, I don't, I'm not going to, somebody can chime in and say in 87 or in 67, this would happen.
You
but
missed it.
off the top of my head, that might be in history.
Quick question comparison. I saw a countdown of the top 5 hurdles NFL history.
Oh boy.
This was ranked number 1 and number 2 was the flip, the Bengals flip.
Oh yeah.
Which one do you guys think is better?
I always thought that flip was not overrated, but it was aided by the fact that he kind of like the defender's momentum kind of helped him.
He stuck it though,
flip.
man.
He did.
I got to say the flip.
Decent receiver.
Yeah, the flip was insane.
I'm going with the reverse hurdle.
Yeah.
The
that
reverse
was the
hurdle
craziest
was
thing I've
amazing.
ever seen in my life.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into some Niners talk. Speaking of
Jerome
crazy,
Simpson.
how could they not do anything
Great.
at the trade deadline? Well, they did something. We'll tell you what. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
It's time for some Niners talk. Red and gold at 12:15. Thank you, Debo. We're getting back into some Kings talk as we prop talk, dog segment. Kings looking for that revenge against the Toronto Raptors. My question is, anybody going to take Davion in prop talk? He's coming home. The revenge thing is always tough because it's always different when you go to the arena that you were at.
Yeah.
Obviously, they played last week, but they played last week in Toronto. Now Davion is going to see all the workers that he's been cool with for all these years. So I do think this is more traditional of the revenge situation than when they're on the road. Right, Chris?
Yeah, definitely.
If Drake is there, you're going to try to take a picture with him, Alan?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he probably tried to take a picture with me.
Yeah. Try to, but he never mind.
49ers bring back safety to Sean Gibson after serving a suspension for PEDs. Guys, that secondary needed to be shored up with some injuries. Obviously, Talanoa Hufanga, things like that. But Tashawn Gibson coming back into the fold. I think the Niners and Niners fans are really big on this. I think that they, a lot of the guys that ended up on the Texans, the Niners, Al Shire, they'll say, oh, can we get him back? You're really just trying to bring back that feeling of when the Niners, the last couple of seasons where the Niners defense was just ridiculous. And I think that is kind of what's going on here, Chris, but I do like the move.
Yeah, I think it's a good move, bringing back some familiar faces and somebody who's familiar with what goes on there. And I think it's just in general a good safety piece. It's a good depth piece, that is. You always want to make sure you never know what's going to happen. And if somebody is going to go down, that you have somebody there who's ready to step in immediately. And at least that there's not going to be a massive drop off. I think it's a good pickup, especially considering the health that you've seen from safety so far.
What you just said about them bringing back, like trying to get the old feeling. I mean, you're 100% right. I think that's more of a fan mentality. Like with Robert Saleh, as soon as he got fired, I mean, we saw it through the roof, and so how disappointed everyone was when he turned up in Green Bay.
Yeah, well, that was a weird thing. The fact that and look, coaches do this all the time. The problem with the Niners, and again, I'm not trying to bash the Niners. They've been incredibly successful. They just got to win the last game of the season. But I think that's what happened. You can't understand, or you can't tell the future on what's going to happen. So they bring in Brandon Staley because they want to make sure Nick Sorensen is in a good spot. But then they do that, and now you've kind of tied your hands because you went with a greener defensive coordinator. You've kind of tied your hands, and then you see Robert Saleh go free, but you already have Brandon Staley in the building. You can't bring in somebody else. So they kind of did it I think Nate, there could have been something there. I know he's close with the Packers, or with those that are part of the Packers organization, but I do think there could have been something right there. The problem is that pseudo role is already filled by Brandon Staley, who, Chris, we haven't heard about Brandon Staley at all this whole season.
No, but that's probably good, right? I mean, you shouldn't be hearing from a defensive consultant or whatever his official title is. I mean, it's to me more interesting. We haven't really heard from Nick Sorensen, who's actually the D coordinator all year. I think that it's I don't really know why. I don't think the Niners defense has necessarily been something that doesn't need answering. Like, I think that they've definitely had some holes, and early in the season, again, they were giving up big chunk plays left and right every single week. It feels like it's steadied a little bit here these past couple weeks, but it's definitely interesting, just the entire situation that they have going on. And I think it becomes more and more explosive if maybe the season starts to go how they don't expect it to go. If things start going really bad towards the end of the year, I think that's really where you're going to see a lot of the blame come out. But I think right now there's still some hope. I think it's, you were allowing a little bit of cushion with or just some grace more, allowing him to kind of implement his defense to an extent. But I will say, I know it was a week off from that last Cowboys game, but it is pretty crazy in hindsight to see that the Cowboys put up 24 on the Niners. It feels like, I know, that's not necessarily the most accurate depiction of how that game went, but it just feels like the Niners, and they handled the Cowboys, but even allowing them to have 24 with how the Cowboys have been playing so far recently, doesn't feel like a great accomplishment. It feels like, the Niners traditionally could have held that team to, 10 points. And again, I know they score a late touchdown in that game, but it just feels like that defense hasn't felt dominant at all this year.
Yeah, I felt like we heard from Steve Wilks way too often.
Oh my God!
They were
by this time, he was coming down to the field, right?
Yeah, he was playing musical
when
chairs.
Did that happen? Yeah,
he was playing musical chairs. He was up, he was down, and you had Kyle Shanahan talking about it. Steve Wilks was talking about it. I feel like I've heard Nick Sorensen talk once.
Funny enough, time is a flat circle, man. Guess when? I will just tell you. Steve Wilks, November 8th, 2023, ESPN article. Steve Wilks moving from booth to field amid struggles.
And what?
November 8th, 2023. We are at November 6th, 2024.
Can we get their record at that time?
Because I want to say
that was
doing pretty hot.
Right
That's
before,
what I'm thinking.
Right.
I want to say that was right after the Bengals game, right before the Jags game.
Schedule going to 2023 schedule, and let's say we said November 8th. That was after their bye week. They had just played the Bengals. They were on their way to playing Jacksonville. On their way to end that They were just off of that 3-game losing streak.
There you go.
And would go on to win 6 in a row.
There you go.
That's where the whole season flipped on its head.
And again, if they can find themselves in a flat circle of time here pretty soon, coming out of the bye, if they take off here, I think again there won't be many questions about that defense. But there's some potent offenses too that they have to face here. Tampa Bay, we know they don't have their targets, but Baker still put it up. Geno, team hasn't looked awesome, but Geno's leading the league in pass yards. We know Jordan Love can light it up. Then they play in Buffalo December 1st. There's a lot of high potent offenses here where we could potentially be talking a lot about the Niners defense as their offense is kind of getting healthy again here. Maybe the pendulum swings to the other side and we really start hyper focusing on where the Niners stand defensively these next couple weeks.
I will add too, we talked about it the other day, Dre Greenlaw looks to be on his way back pretty soon, which would be huge for this Niners defense. Just immense. And then to Sean Gibson too, I know you talked about it briefly, but he was a pretty big piece to that team and a great veteran leader and a guy they really liked.
PEDs, huh?
PEDs, 6 games. Hey, everyone's on steroids. To quote the great Nate Diaz.
Yeah. What kind?
I read his statement today, and he's just like, "Yep, I messed up."
At least there's that.
Yeah.
I'm never a fan of. I didn't know.
That's what Jimmy Garoppolo did this year.
That's Barry, though. You gotta be careful. That was Barry
for sure.
I didn't know. All right, let's get to the other side here because I do want to play this sound. So George Kittle, Nate, you sent me this thing. So the Hidden Pearls podcast. Yes. I didn't know if I can even say it on air. Yes. No, hold on now.
Pearls.
Join. So I click on it. I asked Nate.
Podcast is that?
I asked Nate, where is this from? He said the Hidden Pearls podcast. So then I reread it.
Dude,
you're on YouTube. Join I didn't know George Kittle had something. I never see the clips. Join the Kittle family on their mission to unite the world through storytelling.
What?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't really a story, this audio we're going to play either. It's just talking about Ricky Pearsall.
I'm looking, this is 4 years ago. This thing's been going on for a very long time. My guess is that they don't talk about
OG podcast.
I don't know how much they talk about football. I don't know, man. But throw them in the mix too. Throw them in the mix too. Got to go from one podcast to another.
The video too. I don't know if you saw Kittle's portion of the video. He's like, his face is
in the
barely
dark?
lit. That's what I was going to say. He's in like a cave with a gamer headset on.
Oh my goodness. He's got to be in a hotel or I don't know what's going on. It was the bye week. All right. We hear from the Hidden Pearls podcast and what George Kittle had to say about Ricky Pearsall on the other side. Stiles and Watkins,
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app. Tesla, keeping it real to
Saturday, November 9th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Tesla, live. The multi-platinum rock band returns with special guest, Fuel. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Tesla, keeping it real tour.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda deal, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like wipers. If your wipers are streaking, skipping, chattering, or even worse, loud, you need to visit AutoZone and get some fresh new blades. We've got basic wipers to get you back on the road, as well as premium blades from Bosch and Rain-X. So if you're hearing this, just head to your nearest AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named a top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free, and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue, Business 80. Learn more at HagenOaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
When it's all on the line, you need a Big Tom closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their #1 priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
the table. Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
All right. I'm trying to get the name again. Hidden Pearls. HiddenPearlsStudio.com. You can check that out. Now I'm just checking everything out. And Chris, you said it looks like, it's definitely not his. Yeah, it's his sister. Something that's going on there.
It's somebody. I don't know who it is. I didn't finish the receiver show, so I don't know nothing about Kittle or his family. I know that's not his wife, but it says the Kittle family. Join the Kittle family. So I assume it's his sister.
Oh, by the way, based on what is it, Chris? Listener habits, people from that first hour or early second hour, you might not be still listening, but if you are, I did get sentelled. Trey Young did not cut his hair. I really thought I saw an R there. Yeah, I really thought I saw an R and an A. Chris said you need to block Centel.
Yeah,
but it's just so funny.
That sucks, man. Because you even called it. You even said I'm not getting Centel.
Yeah,
and sure enough,
you saw it on Centel, Chris.
Yes. If you just Google Trey.
I did think his head looked a little funny.
I mean, it's a real picture. It's just, I'm pretty sure it's a Photoshop picture.
Will you just explain what Centel is?
Yeah, I think we have before, but we'll do it again. Basically, NBA Central is a really popular account on social media, specifically Twitter. And it got really big just from kind of aggregating news. So somebody decided to make a version of that is a parody called NBA Centel. So if you look at it very quickly, it is CENTEL. And they'll tag real people. They make it look super legit to the point where I think it was Forbes or maybe Front Office Sports. Somebody did a piece on NBA Centel because they're making a ton of money on X based on the Elon model, how you can get paid for for having the blue check and everything like that. And they'll post up, they'll tag Windhorse, they'll tag Kevin Durant.
I'll give you an example.
Blatant lies.
Their last post, I have them blocked, so I had to unblock them for this. Isaiah Thomas launches a new podcast, Underdog Tales. Episode 1 is a 30-minute story on how, quote, size doesn't matter via Spotify. That is from NBA Central. And they tag Spotify. They tag Spotify.
That's awesome.
And so you would have to do the legwork of clicking Spotify, seeing if there's anything on the Spotify page. Okay, I didn't see anything on the Spotify page. That's weird. Maybe I'll go to Isaiah Thomas. Oh, there's nothing on Isaiah Thomas. Maybe I'll go Google it. And then next thing you know, you've wasted 10 to 15 minutes searching for a story that was a joke the entire time.
Yeah, and there was one, because again, they get...
And that's the joke.
Yes, they get people all the time. And there was one most recently, well, not most recently, Chris, because you just kind of talked about that one, but there was one with Dame Lillard, and Dame Lillard ended up liking it. And it basically said something to the effect of, he's not really, or somebody's not really injured or something like that. And Dame Lillard went on to like the post. So they get people all the time, man. And I got Trey Young. I'm seeing it here. It's a bunch of likes.
You even said he doesn't look like a lollipop with hair on it anymore.
No, that was the meme. People would show the little meme. I didn't say he doesn't look like. I didn't say he does or doesn't.
I am abstaining.
Yeah. So
giving my opinion.
So there you go. All right, Nate. Without further ado, we really need to hear from this Hidden Pearls podcast on what George Kittle had to say about Ricky Pearsall.
100%. I am a huge fan of Ricky. He's one of my locker mates. He's like 3 lockers down from me. So I see him every single day. We talk every single day in this locker room. I love Ricky. I think he's had a fantastic work ethic ever since he's been here. He's very hard on himself. He critiques himself really hard. Like if he doesn't make a play, he's very disappointed in himself, but like he doesn't let it linger on him. Like doesn't let it snowball. Which is a great thing. That is a veteran mindset. Like you want to make every single play, practice or games. But sometimes you don't. Like, how do you bounce back and then make the next play, right? And he's done a really good job with that. And I think he took advantage of all his opportunities in the Cowboys game. And just the more he's on the football field, the better he's going to get. He's a freak athlete, runs great routes. He's got some spice to him too. He can run choice routes on people. He's very shifty, but he's got that linear speed too. And I think you saw there was a third down where Brock was hot, 2 guys off the edge. He stepped in and he threw the ball with 3 steps before Ricky was breaking out, and it found him right in the money. And that that's just it's kind of Brock forcing the trust onto Ricky. Like, hey, I am expecting you to be here. You need to be here.
A lot of people are high on this guy, man. I mean, very, very confusing to evaluate someone like this because of the season, with him getting shot earlier on, and he was injured before that. So before he got shot, we really didn't see him a lot in training camp and the preseason. And then to have him come out and show off some of that speed there and what he's going to be able to do. I won't say but I was kind of questioning his size/speed combination, but it does seem like he can motor a bit, kind of maybe a possession guy. I do, just early on, I know there are a lot of people saying it was a bit lazy to do the Cooper Kupp comparison, but I do kind of see it early on. I mean, maybe I'm way off, but I do see some shades of it. Just as far as being more of a possession guy but with maybe a little bit more pop than a Cooper Kupp. And yeah, I'm not really sure what the ceiling is for Ricky Pearsall, but I like what I've seen so far.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on him so far. I just feel like he's been fine, but I don't feel like he's blown me away by any stretch of the imagination.
I like that run a lot. I like that run.
It was a good run. It's fine. It's a good play design. I mean, it's 39 yard. It was a 39-yard run. It was good to see his speed, I guess. But I haven't really seen anything that makes me feel like, and granted, it's because it's so early, but I don't feel like I've seen anything that makes him special. I think, not saying he's not, but I just don't know if I've seen anything on the field so far that makes me feel like there's much to get super duper excited about. And then there's also the fact of I don't really know what role continue. I mean, it's been the storyline from day one. I don't know what role he's going to play with this team. I think in a weird way, in a twisted way, Ayuk's injury does maybe clarify it a little bit, but if you're talking about him being a Cooper Kupp style guy, I mean, Cooper Kupp is out here getting 15 receptions a game and heavy workload. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I see Ricky Pearsall being the team's offense in that kind of center.
Well, not in a Kyle Shanahan offense anyway. I don't know. Cooper Kupp would be Cooper Kupp in Kyle Shanahan offense.
He might be. I mean, yeah, I don't know the intricacies of how similar the McVay system is with the Shanahan system. I know that from a Vikings perspective, Kevin O'Connell takes a lot of what Sean McVay does, and he directly says we use Justin Jefferson in the Cooper Kupp role.
Right.
So, I don't know if I even have a comparison. It's only been 2 weeks for Ricky. I think that they've done good to get him integrated into the offense, but for me personally, I would like to see a little bit more before I even feel like I feel good about his standing in the NFL. Like, I think he's been out there, he's made some catches, but he hasn't really super impressed me so far. But he also had, like you laid out, I mean, he was injured before the season. He gets shot, obviously, has to miss 6 weeks of time just to let it heal and get ready. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been too excited by it, but I understand why, even seeing him out there getting catches, using his skills, I understand why that would at least be a step in the right direction. But there's still a long way to go before I'm really ready to declare anything on him.
I think his role, as we're kind of feeling out where he fits into this offense. I think kind of what's going on, and we'll see it more because him and Juwan haven't really played together at all. I think Juwan moves into that too. Ricky takes over that Ayuk role just at a smaller rate at the 3. So I think from a receiver standpoint, it's Debo, it's Juwan, and then it's 3rd and 7. Oh, Ricky can do this out route, and we can get this first down on this drive we really need or something. I think that's kind of where Ricky will come in. And then obviously, the sweeps and runs, those will pop up. I just was surprised a little bit to see it happen so early on the 39-yard run.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you this much. I would not I would not touch the 49ers receivers when it comes to prop talk. You laid it out like that, Nate. It really doesn't even feel like Debo is the number one. You don't know. If I'm going to go down, let me go down because Justin Jefferson just was a couple yards short. I'd rather go that way than you take Debo and it's just a Jawan Jennings day or it's a George Kittle day. You just never know what's going to happen. Great for the team, bad for you if we are, again, talking about that old prop talk. Let's get back into some Kings talk here. We're going to play a little position ladder game with centers and guards and see where De'Aaron Fox ends up. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Bob Bolger went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
David Dusek writes in Golf Week that according to FootJoy, about 65% of golfers wear the wrong size golf gloves. A properly fit and maintained golf glove will help you stay connected to the club without extra tension, which can mean more speed. Snug is the name of the game. A perfect glove should fit like a second skin, wrapping tightly around your palm and fingers. If the glove is too loose, the extra material can bunch up and lead to a bad connection between your hands and the grip. The fingers of the glove should extend just to the tips of your fingers. If there's too much space at the end of your fingers, try a cadet version of the glove made for golfers who have shorter fingers and wider palms. The Velcro closure should only require a slight pull to secure. If you're stretching the strap significantly, the glove is too small. Natural leather offers superior feel and touch. Synthetic leather gloves tend to cost less and probably last longer. After your round, air out your glove to maintain softness and flexibility. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Radio's 17-year anniversary bash this Saturday night with a free tri-tip dinner. That's right, free tri-tip dinner and free late-night biscuits and gravy. So don't miss Stoney's 17-year anniversary bash this Saturday night, plus free dance lessons, sing some karaoke, or ride Stoney's mechanical ball. I'll see you on the dance floor.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
It's time to play a little NBA position ladder where do these players fall compared to Kings players? Where would you rank them? And it's basically a version of King of the Court. Okay, Chris, let's start here. And we're going to do this as we were talking about during the break. It's very confusing with the power forward versus center thing, but we're going to start with Domantas Sabonis, and we're just going to go through some names and see who you're putting above Domantas Sabonis. And again, Sabonis is a little confusing because they have him going up against the guys like Julius Randle and dudes and Evan Mobley, but Giannis is in the conversation as well. So I'll do names based on what feels right as far as Domantas Sabonis is concerned. So you have Domantas Sabonis, Chris. I think this is a really interesting one. Domantas Sabonis is the name, and now I'm going to say another name, and I'm going to start here. Based on right now, not the future, Victor Wembanyama.
I mean, I guess Domantas Sabonis only because he's seems to be contributing more all the way around to his team. But I mean, I'm not trying to downplay what Wemby does for the Sixers or for the Spurs at all. Yeah, I mean, I guess just at this point in the season so far, I would go Sabonis. But yeah, I mean, that's obviously a really tough one or a tricky one.
They just went head to head, and Sabonis was the reason that they got this W. Domantas Sabonis or Bam Adebayo?
That's another tough one. I think it's a little bit of a matter of preference. Is the question who is the better player?
Just as a ranking system, who would you put? Who? Yes, sure.
For this year. Yeah, I mean, Bam has been off to a really, really slow start this year, and Sabonis has been absolutely incredible. So I would give Sabonis the nod this year.
Yeah, and obviously when you're talking about this year, you're not just going to ignore what guys have done in the past.
Right.
I struggle with Bam Adebayo and just what exactly am I getting from him? I guess if you're buying one or the other, I would just buy Domantas Sabonis because I feel like I know more of what I'm going to get from Domantas Sabonis. I know we talked about some of the defense numbers with Bam, and that's really the separating factor there, but I'd probably go with Domas as well. Here's a guy who
I don't know. Bam's a tough one. Been top 5 defensive player of the year the last 4-5 years.
Are you getting enough?
All-star 3 of those.
The question, are you getting enough? Because his defense is so good, you think that you're getting enough offense that it would make sense?
No, I mean, again, I think it's more of just a stylistic thing. I think it's a pick your preference because Bam puts up the same, if not a little bit better numbers than. I mean, offensively, like let's just say, I mean, last year Bam was 19.3 points, 10.4 rebounds, 3.9 assists, which is obviously less than Sabonis. But if you look at his stocks, his steals plus blocks, he was at 2. He had 1.1 steals, 0.9 blocks. And so, I think it's just a matter of preference. I think I think that they are literally the same tier of player. I think both of which are very, very good. I think they are definitely not the elite of the position, but you have Joel Embiid, you have Nikola Jokic, and then to me, it's Sabonis and Bam are head and shoulders the next 2 best bigs. But it's, again, just a matter of style of preference of style between the two.
Another guy, and this going back, Chris, to, basing something on how guys have played in the past versus how they are playing right now. I think you would probably take Domantas Sabonis, but Nikola Vucevic is balling out right now. He's been playing very, very well.
Not even a question. It's Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah. All right. Next on the list, and this is a guy who I was high on. We thought he'd be on the move. He did end up being on the move, but it was not to Sacramento. It was to New York. Karl Anthony Towns.
I mean, I think Domantas Sabonis has played better. I think he's been more impactful. I think I would say Karl Anthony Towns is more skilled than he is. He can shoot, with some of the best of them. He has all the ability in the world. He hasn't really panned out to kind of flush it out for a full season or anything like that. I would personally rather give the nod to Sabonis, but I think from a skill set perspective, I feel like Karl Anthony Towns is in a class almost of like AD, Jokic, and I mean maybe you could put even Embiid in there just as like some people who just have raw talent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tough one, but I'm going to go Sabonis just for the actual substance of what he brings instead of what he could be or what maybe he can bring.
Did you see Lou Will and what he said on the FanDuel, their FanDuel
No,
show?
I just saw his DeMar DeRozan comment.
He said that Karl Anthony Towns is more skilled than Nikola Jokic, but Nikola Jokic is more impactful.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a conversation to be had. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, there's not much he can't do on the basketball floor. With him, it's more of a mental thing, it seems like, where he just doesn't really have the competitiveness, really, I think, has been questioned. His motor has been questioned at times, and I think he's got the shooting ability. He can dribble. He can pass to an extent, better, not as good as he thinks he can. But, and defensively, again, he's 7 feet tall. He moves as well as about any big you can find. It just doesn't translate. So, I mean, I think Karl Anthony Towns is incredibly skilled, but that's also the problem is he's so skilled, but you don't have the production and or being the best player on his team to really show for it. And now what? He's the Knicks' second, third best player, most important player, and I think that those allegations are probably only going to get louder and louder.
All right, I mean, we can do the Nikola Jokic thing, but I feel like we've done it so often, and it's Jokic until it's not Jokic. It just that is what it is. Let's go to the point guard realm of this with one young De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, Chris. Here we go with some names. I'm going to start you off with really one of the tougher ones, depending on who you talk to. Let's just get right after it with one Tyrese Halliburton. Who you taking on are you leaving De'Aaron Fox there? Very similar. Who was talking during the crosstalk about me? Oh, did you say that I went Gordon Ramsay?
No, Verlad.
Verlad said I went Gordon Ramsay. So at Hell's Kitchen, when they both take up the plate, and either one plate gets a point or the other plate gets taken away based on what's better. De'Aaron Fox, is he staying at the king of the court, or are you taking Tyrese Halliburton?
I think De'Aaron's a better player for sure. I mean, I think he's more complete. I think Tyrese has all the hype and, to an extent, rightfully so. But, I just think De'Aaron brings more, and I trust De'Aaron Fox a little bit more to be aggressive in situations where you need him to be. I just think Tyrese still has a bit of growing to do, but I personally would take De'Aaron. I know that that's obviously not the popular opinion.
I'm not trying to sound like a hater. I'm just asking, and I've watched a fair amount of Pacers basketball. Mm-hmm. How often, when is the last time you saw Tyrese take a shot off the dribble? I just feel like they're always set shots, man. From the 3-point range. I feel like his 3-point is always a set shot. It's not a let me boogie on you and then pull up.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them tend to be, but I think with his awkward shot release, it definitely makes it a little bit tough for him to create off the dribble or to shoot off the dribble like that. And I think a lot of people are starting to see some of the warts in his game. You see the lack of aggressiveness in some of these games. He already has 2 games this season where he's taken under 10 shots. That's unacceptable when you're the best player on a team. It doesn't matter if you are a distributor or not. You have to be willing to shoot the ball to a certain extent. And I just think that in general, too, you see some of the deficiencies of he's not super, like he doesn't have a skill set that necessarily sticks out. He is a little bit not of a Swiss Army knife, but you would say that he's more of a 5-tool player, but it's not necessarily that he's 9s or 10s in any of those realms. He's a decent athlete. He's not an incredible athlete, definitely not a once in a generation athlete. He's a really good shooter. That's probably the place that in playmaking are probably the places where you are going to give him a 9 or 10, but not really fast, not really explosive. Doesn't really have like the craziest dribble package or anything like that. Not the greatest finisher around the rim, but he can do a lot of things really well. But I think the problem is when you're talked about the way that he has been talked about, I think that you have to be a certain caliber of player. And I think we're just kind of now figuring out, or the rest of the nation is figuring out, oh, he's actually not a perfect player at all, and there are some real legitimate concerns that you could have, not necessarily about him being an NBA player, but about him being a massive NBA superstar.
Jack of all trades, kind of master of none situation. I guess the master would be the passing ability,
shooting and playmaking.
Yeah. There you go. All right, next on the list, Chris, a guy that I'm really high on. I know I think you're going to take De'Aaron here, but I just really like him. He's like, what is he? What did we just said? He's 20, just turned 24. Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could be really similar by the end of the year. It could be Maxey taking the crown. Yeah, I mean, that's again another tough one where maybe you would just say that it's Stiles. Like, I think Maxey, you probably trust his jump shot a little bit more. Neither is really a natural creator for their offense, but they're both incredibly fast, great at finishing around the rim. Again, Maxey probably has the advantage on the perimeter. I think you probably give De'Aaron the edge on defense. Yeah, but Maxey's a little bit younger. Maybe you give the nod to Tyrese Maxey. I think, again, with where he's at, and it's not fair because they are different ages, I just think where he's at right now, De'Aaron has him by just a little bit. But again, by the end of the year, that can completely change.
Right. This might be the last year where De'Aaron gets him, unless De'Aaron takes a leap. Trae Young, Chris Watkins.
No, not even close.
Not even close?
Not even close. Not even close. Trae Young puts up crazy numbers, and that's it.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's doing it. Wouldn't you argue that the Kings cast is better than...
I think Trae Young is literally the worst defensive player in the entirety of the NBA.
I do think sometimes I struggle with, if you have a bad team, right? If you're on a bad team, there is a version of stat padding, but you also you are creating for guys that aren't that good.
Sure, but he's shooting 43% for his career from the field. Like, I think that he's a gunner, and I think if you put it, like, what can Trae Young be on a good basketball team that isn't centered around Trae Young? I don't know.
All right, well, basically,
like, if Trae Young were to be on the Kings right now, I don't know how he would fit in with the amount of other scorers that are around him. Like, Trae Young has to be the focal point of your offense. If not, he doesn't really know what to do because, again, also defensively, you almost have to have him be so good offensively because you have to justify giving him minutes. But I think in a playoff series, I'm pretty sure Trae Young is just getting abused defensively the entire time.
All right, we had a couple more names. We'll table this for now, get back to it on another day. Great stuff from you, Chris Watkins. Let's get to top stories at the top of the hour when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max used for adults only.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Ready to make this Christmas unforgettable? Shop early and save at Prestigio Jewelers' biggest Black November sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Tom's Watch Bar, your ultimate sports watching destination for all Kings games, hosted live by Sactown Sports. With 360-degree viewing, surround sound, premium food and drink, and game day vibes that match being at the game, Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for all Sacramento Kings fans.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports, 1140.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
All right. It's 1 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top. Oh, Nate wasn't ready. Oh.
Drop top. Oh, I bet the music.
There you go. All right. Let's get to top stories at the top of the hour. Let's start here, Chris. 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey was limited in practice today, but head coach Kyle Shanahan said he has no pain, and encouraging sign for his availability this Sunday. I know we talked a little bit about, crazy news, right? And maybe I was a little bit doomsday because I have my own personal PTSD, but it didn't look good. At one point, what were they talking about? He had an Achilles injury in both.
Tendonitis.
How was he even walking anywhere?
Well, there was also, the Germany story where all of a sudden they had to get ahead of it because a picture was going to come out.
And then somebody just take a picture sitting in the corner
at the airport. Yeah. It was so good.
And there was hope there.
Germany. It was both.
So did Germany work?
It's a great question.
He went there for stem cells, and I know that's kind of it is election time, so it's a little controversial here, but
we almost got through. We got last hour of the show, Nate. Come on.
Well, it's better than doing the props, I guess, but it's going overseas to get that done. I think it does help a lot. Like a lot of players do it. I think Peyton Manning did it with his neck before he became a Bronco. So I think it's going to work, hopefully.
Yeah, what type of
I know.
Emphasis on hopefully.
I think hopefully maybe.
What type of pitch count do you think he'd be on or snap count?
I'm going to say 60% of the snaps, a hair over.
Okay.
Do you think that's too much or too little?
I thought that was too
full
much.
throttle.
Oh, but dude.
No.
The way Shanahan is?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, he can't help himself.
I'm thinking no bars held back.
I thought 60 was being a little gracious.
Wow.
But that's what I want. And it's Tampa Bay that is, Vita Vea's up front. They're good run defense, but
I can't even. Man.
Yeah, I'd do about 50 or even just find certain plays that you want to have him in, almost like kind of game script him all the way through. But, I understand that you're not really in a luxury position to be holding him back anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if he has no restriction at all.
Well,
just
then
because
the
of
whole
how much
just
of a
no joke.
maniac Kyle is.
And the Jordan Mason thing as well with the AC joint.
That too.
Garendo's been very good.
No, I know that, but I'm saying 60% when you maybe it'd be less than 60 if Jordan Mason was 100%.
Sure.
The fact that he's been dinged up, I don't think Kyle is going to be under 60% if your other option is Garendo or Debo. I think you're right. I think it's going to be 60 or more.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be, but
I hope he can just handle himself and not do what Chris is saying and go,
No, he can't.
hey, and you're getting every snap.
he
all
can't.
or nothing.
And then he's going to throw him, and then he's going to be running routes.
He's going to throw a pass. He's throwing a pass
Do you
on
guys
Sunday. I'm
do you
calling it.
guys think he's on the first offensive play for the night?
Yes.
He comes out and starts.
I bet he gets the first touch of the game.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle's just salivating.
I know. He's
10-yard
so
run.
good though. He's
Yeah.
so good.
He's going
Too
to
good.
crazy.
Too good for his own good.
Yeah.
You know what? When we do prop talk this week, that'll tell us a lot about what they think.
You think they'll give carries?
Why not?
I don't
Like
know.
they'll set a
I don't know.
line for carries?
Let's see.
I think they've done that before.
Check the earlier reports.
Yeah, because that will be very interesting. Like line it.
It's
I don't
either
know,
going to get
14 and a half.
smashed or not even going to be close. All right. Speaking of injuries, Shohei Ohtani today underwent successful arthroscopic surgery performed in Los Angeles to repair a labrum tear that resulted from a left shoulder dislocation on October 26th. So it's pretty crazy. He was swinging a bat, Chris, and I know labrum tears can go here and there, and from Kevin Herter to Devin Carter. We've talked about this epidemic with the labrum tears. He is expected to be ready for spring training. So
Interesting.
Great stuff there. I saw somebody, I'm not saying this, but somebody said it would be, I don't know if they called it poetic justice, but they said, what if this season Shohei could only pitch but couldn't hit?
That'd be interesting just to get,
There'd be no way.
We just
but-
saw a historic hitting season. Maybe,
Yeah.
what would it look like if he full timed it?
Yeah.
He's already one of the best pitchers in baseball. It'd be interesting, just see him go full throttle, and it feels like maybe the Dodgers should have a handicap like that, especially if they're going to go out and get Juan Soto. It's like, well, then you have to pick one with Shohei. You can either just hit or just pitch.
Yeah,
There's
I was
no way
going to
can
ask
do
you
both.
guys, which one would you take?
Hitter.
If Shohei's on your
If
team,
you
take him as a hitter.
Yeah, find somebody else who would,
Yeah.
throw their arm out. I don't care.
Yeah, hitter.
You're not going to find another
And
50-50
Shohei's
guy.
going to play every game rather than pitching,
I mean, he showed you
That
this
too,
season
right.
what you should do.
Yeah.
I think this man should be your first baseman.
He's so good.
I mean, he's going to be there for the next 27 years, so they can mess with a lot.
Is he at the point, Alan, where you think he's the greatest player of all time? Just as from a skill, not taking, what he brings to baseball.
Yeah, I know there was a lot going back and forth between better hitter Shohei or Barry. I'll probably be still taking Barry for now, but
you're also a little biased, right?
Yeah, exactly. But Shohei is right. Shohei's best player I've ever seen, ever.
Sure.
Ever. No question. All right, guys. We know that the election was going on last night, but more importantly, the first college football playoff rankings came out. Here it is, Chris. Does this entice you at all?
Okay.
The 12 seed Boise State at number 5, Ohio State. The number 9 seeded Indiana taking on 8 seed Tennessee. The number 11 seed Alabama taking on the number 6 seed Texas. And the number 10 seed Notre Dame taking on the number 8 seed Penn State. Obviously, the teams that weren't mentioned, Oregon and those top teams, they'll have buys.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll have buys. But I'm in. I told you I'm all the way in.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a good thing for college football. I think it's interesting that those games are going to be actually like home and road games, and not at a neutral site. That really kind of swings it in one direction. A couple of those games I'm really intrigued by. I like the thought of Boise State, Ohio State, just to see Jonty at like a high level going against a high level team. The Notre Dame Penn State one, that's like a real that's a college football lovers game right there.
Old jerseys,
that's not for
old
me.
What?
It's not for me. I don't really care about either of those programs.
Bama, Texas
definitely gets the juices going. 100%. Those are. You want to talk about college football? Now, there's college football classics, and then there's that is college football. That is like the spirit of college football right there. Alabama at Texas. that one you're getting, that's almost like Yankee Dodger. You're getting absolutely crazy ratings on that one, and that's just for the first round game. I think some of those are really exciting, and I think that's just going to be the nature of every year. Some of those games are going to be really exciting. Some of them are going to be like, that 5-12 is slightly intriguing, but at the end of the day, you're probably actually going to see Ohio State absolutely boat race Boise State. And so, that's going to be the interesting part with, again, there actually being a home field advantage. Some of those games might seem okay on paper, and then when you actually get to it, it ends up being just your typical college football blowout between a really, really good team and then, one of the pack.
9 seed Indiana at Tennessee.
Yeah, that one especially. Like and like I said, I got one of my best friends is a massive Tennessee fan, but I don't watch enough college football to get excited about Indiana.
I'm in on that. All right. Next on the list, Chris, Philly columnist Marcus Hayes to continue covering the 76ers after the Joel Embiid incident. No change, says Evan Ben, the Inquirer's senior director of special projects and communications, said of Hayes' status. He is an Inquirer columnist who covers Philadelphia sports teams, including the Sixers. You idiot.
Boy, thank you. It is your birthday period. He is a sports columnist who works in Philadelphia. So, yes, he will cover the Sixers.
Sounds like you wanted to say for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be some sort of like workers union or something going on here, because this to me seems like the easiest slam dunk firing ever. Maybe, not to speculate here, but I know some of the status of old media, as we are on radio here, but I know newspapers and stuff, they enjoy clicks. And so maybe a bit of this is, hey, man, why would we fire him now? He's got more juice than ever, especially in a city like Philly where you're competing with the radio stations. You're competing with all the other news outlets as well in a very terrible way. Maybe it is just the Inquirer saying, like, not right now. Maybe when he loses some juice, but we're not getting rid of him right now when he's as hot as you can get.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but yeah.
There you go. Next on the list, Chris, this is from Young Misuk, a ESPN NBA reporter.
Okay.
The Clippers were willing to accept a package of Andrew Wiggins, either Jonathan Kuminga or Brandon Pajemski, and 1 or 2 picks for Paul George. This is the quote.
That is quite a report.
Yeah, I know. This is central.
What is that even?
Because there's an ESPN article. The ESPN. Now I got to cite my sources here. How the Paul George negotiation changed the direction of the Clippers. That's what the article is. And the quote says the Clippers were willing to make a deal with their division rival, according to sources, but were looking for something of value to help restock their asset cupboard if they were going to take back an undesirable contract and be in the second apron. Swapping George for Andrew Wiggins, who has 3 years and $85 million left on a 4-year, $109 million deal, plus other salaries to make the math work, would have been acceptable only if the Clippers received a young player such as Kuminga or Pajemski and a pick or 2. So essentially, the Warriors said no. I know the Warriors are up to a hot 6-1 start, Chris, and Paul George just getting back on the floor. Do you think either team made the right decision? Do you think one team or the other made the wrong decision?
Yeah, I would say the Clippers probably should have aggressively pursued that, or at least tried to get the Warriors' interest in it. I think that's obviously better than what I feel like the Clippers, or what they got nothing in return, right, for Paul George.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would think that's definitely better than that. And I don't know if the Warriors would have been contenders this year, but they would have felt a lot better about their chances with Paul George and Steph. I mean, there's a chance that, that could have been a really competitive team this year. I would probably say I would pick them to be better than they were right now. But, at the end of the day, I think the Warriors opted for depth instead. And I think so far it's looked like the right move. So, and Paul George has only played 1 game so far. So who knows how it would have looked. I think that there's a chance that you're also betting on Paul George's health there. And you already see that Steph had some ankle injuries as well. So who knows if that would have been a good bet. But, I think the Clippers probably should have looked to make that move.
Last but not least, Chris, Jeff Green has played with the most teammates in NBA history. The list goes like this. Jeff Green is on the Rockets, by the way. JaVale McGee at 245, most teammates played with. Garrett Temple at 250, Trevor Ariza 259, Vince Carter at 261, and now Jeff Green at 263. I have no clue what to do with that.
Well, how about the fact that Jeff Green is soon to be a Sacramento King? Because everybody else on that list is a former King. Vince Carter, Trevor Ariza, Garrett Temple, and JaVale McGee, all Sacramento Kings at one point in their career. Jeff Green somehow managed to escape Sacramento. Don't know how that happened.
Where's LeBron and Chris Paul on that list?
They just have this top five.
Okay.
Yeah, they just have this top five.
Very curious how. I mean, I would think LeBron brings his guys back.
Yeah,
but
these guys
Chris
have been
Paul,
on a lot of teams, though.
Yeah.
Maybe Chris Paul, but not LeBron wouldn't be on that list. I don't.
I mean, once you're on, when you're switching teams year over year, obviously that's 12 to 13 new teammates. If you stay on the same team, that's probably only going to be 2 to 3 new teammates that you're adding every year.
So there you go.
Jeff Green been on.
I guess I was thinking
1,
duration.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams in 17 years for Jeff Green. You know how long Jeff Green's been in the NBA? You know, his 2 longest tenured teams. One, the Boston Celtics. He was on Boston from 2010 through half of 2014. His other longest tenured team, any guesses? The Seattle Supersonics.
Wow. He's been around for a minute. Well, good for Jeff
He was
Green.
drafted by the Sonics.
I guess that you're in the record book, Chris. You're in the record book. Doesn't really matter how you get there. Good on Jeff Green. Let's take a trip around the bases. And athletics. I got to get used to that.
Yeah, you better.
Athletic star.
But now you second reference, so now you can say
Yes.
A's.
The A star is going to stay in West Sacramento. And Giants, a bunch of news there. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Rod Thomas, a special intimate performance.
I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna have to pay for this.
Benefiting Sidewalk Angels Foundation. One night only, Saturday, November 16th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Rod Thomas, live. For tickets now, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
I'll tell you this much right now, Chris. I was trying to get back to our rundown. So Chris and we have a rundown for the show, of course. Nate will contribute to it as well. And I was I had changed tabs, and I mean, it's bad. I couldn't even find it, brother. I couldn't even find it.
What is that? When is that?
I'm just saying
your
the
tabs.
I couldn't
You
find
have a disgusting I feel so bad for your laptop. You talk all that mess about my text messages.
No. But let's
and
not.
then you got that's like I can't even. You don't even know what you're clicking on those tabs because they're so small. You can't even see the emblem, the logo.
Chris, I'm sorry. The text is worse, dude.
Did you see how many tabs open?
I know, and they're all it's bad. I'm not
how
saying
many
it's
of
not
those
bad.
are the same tabs.
Can we get it?
I have
like to the same site.
We did the ladder thing.
Yeah.
So I have 4 ESPN tabs.
Okay.
I always got about 3 Twitter tabs. I got 4 basketball reference tabs. We were just looking up if there was a theme night tonight. So I got a Kings tab.
Yep.
It's a lot.
My
Miss
text
Emma.
currently doesn't help with the election yesterday. Got a lot of texts from random.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was getting crypto ones.
424 is what I'm.
I just accidentally X'd out a tab with our work email.
That's fine. You really don't need that.
Speaking of the email
don't need that.
notification, I've never had a problem with like having 800 unread emails. Do you guys have that?
No,
problem?
I don't.
Yeah.
My emails are a million times worse than my
Yeah.
texts. My emails are currently sitting at 15,525.
And I don't blame you for that because that's
emails or whatever.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
what
get
am I supposed
so
to do?
much
It's
trash.
ridiculous. I mean, the amount of things that I get emailed is unreal.
When the phone glitches, though, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but sometimes a phone will glitch along with your watch, and it'll say you have an unread. Well, Chris, this wouldn't apply to you because you wouldn't know the difference. But when you have one unread message, but you read the
Yes.
oh my,
yeah, that does drive me crazy.
whole
on my watch.
day.
Yeah.
My whole day,
I'm just like scrolling. You're like, where is this one
I read
message?
it, and I knew I read
that's
it.
the worst.
It's the
Oh,
worst.
I've never had that.
Well, you wouldn't, Nate. You're green.
I know I have a Samsung. I have the watch too, but I only use it for like bike rides and stuff.
Hey, this guy's a biker. Great
Fitness.
stuff there. All right, let's go around the
Fitness.
bases, guys. We have some updates on baseball free agency as the meetings start to heat up. We're getting some news coming out. Juan Soto among 13 to receive qualifying offers from former teams. So here you go. 13 free agents received qualifying offers from their former teams Monday before free agency officially began at 5 p.m. Eastern. Among those tendered the offers, which is a 1-year measly $21 million contract for the 2025 season. The Yankees outfielder Juan Soto, Baltimore Orioles Corbin Burns, Houston Astros, who a lot of people think Alex Bregman will be on the move. Alex Bregman, Atlanta Braves left-hander Max Fried, Milwaukee Brewers shortstop Willie Adames. He has some connections to the Giants. We will discuss New York Mets first baseman Pete Alonso, Orioles outfielder Anthony Santander, Los Angeles Dodgers outfielder Teoscar Hernandez, who made a bunch of money for himself this season. Boston Red Sox right-hander Nick Pivetta, Arizona Diamondbacks first baseman Christian Walker, Mets left-hander Sean Manaea. Hey, I hope he gets paid again too, Chris. Mets right-hander Luis Severino, and Cincinnati Reds right-hander Nick Martinez. I'll do this one. Fine, I won't say I'll only do it once, but I don't want to do this a lot because I was doing Bay Area radio for the Aaron Judge thing. Okay. Arson. He was there.
Mm-hmm.
He was by the jersey.
Signed.
So I don't want to waste my time talking about something I don't think is going to happen.
Okay.
But for a couple minutes here,
okay,
we can have a conversation
about
the possibility of Buster throwing his rings on the table.
Pat Riley style.
Okay. And saying we're going to open up.
And then Juan Soto throws his ring on the table. And he says, I don't need you.
We're going to open up the checkbook. It's a blank check, Juan Soto, $700 million. Juan Soto says, you know what? Losing to the Dodgers has made me really hate the Dodgers. I'm coming to San Francisco. I'll have the conversation, but it's not happening.
It's not happening. It's definitely not happening. I mean, there's no reason for why Juan Soto, especially with all the suitors that we know are out there, why San Francisco would even, frankly, be on the list. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think that's the Giants' hope, right? Is that is their best hope, is that Buster can go in there and really speak to, hey, Juan Soto, like, and I don't know how intriguing, you could definitely speak to this part, how intriguing it is to maybe say, look, you can go to the Mets. They love them some Lindor right now. Maybe a little Kevin Durant sell of like, I don't know if you're going to be the guy no matter where you go. Come to San Francisco, you'll undeniably, unquestionably be the guy. Like, full stop, the guy.
Even though Aaron Judge didn't want to be the guy.
Yeah,
and Bryce Harper didn't want to be the guy.
You can be better than those guys, like – I think that's really their best and only hope from my perspective, is that they can sell him on. It's a good organization. It's a great ballpark. It's a great fan base. And I mean, if you hate the Dodgers, you'll be able to play them at least. I don't know if you'll get your revenge, but you'll at least have the opportunity multiple times a year. But I mean, besides that, there's nothing to sell them on. Like, I don't know what you sell them on.
You can protect
Elliot Lees.
Yeah,
start of the season.
Elliot Ramos.
Come on. Hey, Luciano, we're moving him to the outfield. Huh?
You got a buddy on the Jung Hoo Lee?
Come on.
There's some RBIs for
Hey.
you? Some steaks? Huh?
That's it. That's
Tyler
it.
Fitzgerald?
Hey, you remember Bob Melvin, right?
Yeah.
Hey?
Padres.
Come
Connection.
on. Yeah?
There you go.
I think that's it.
Who else we got?
You know Carl Yastrzemski?
Can I answer? Matt Chapman, he's a Gold Glover.
You know?
You know him?
You know?
You could get to know him. He's a guy.
Uh-huh.
Last but not least, Chris, as we...
Blake Snell was here last year.
And he might stay.
He might.
Speaking
He
of...
might.
Speaking
He
of...
just might.
Scott Boras, and I'm not, whether it's true or not, John Shea says, Agent Scott Boras says Blake Snell is open to returning to the Giants. Here's a quote.
Hey.
He pitched great in San Francisco and enjoyed his time there. So, yeah, for sure. Asked if West Coast is a priority, Boras said, no, not really, and added consistency of his dominance will make for a lively market. This man is trying to get him Juan Soto money. This is insane.
Crazy.
I mean, some of the quotes, these are just some of them. Last but not least, want to get to this for your athletics. Brent Rooker not going anywhere, according to A's GM David Forst. But you had a note, Chris, that said that they said the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And it really didn't make a difference the last time this came up with one Josh Donaldson.
Yes, somebody on socials retweeted the John Heyman saying that David Forst said we're going to keep Brett Rooker, and then quote retweeted with an article written on November 5th, 2014, headline: A's do not plan to trade third baseman Josh Donaldson.
There you go. All right, Kings, Raptors preview on the other side. Stiles and Watkins next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Carmichael Day with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
Black Friday is on its way at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, and there's no better place to shop for all your power tools. Low price Makita Bear tools starting at $89, Makita batteries starting at just $49, and many more of the year's hottest deals. November 25th through December 2nd. That's right, one whole week of crazy deals on power tools. So don't forget, our Black Friday sale will be November 25th through December 2nd. Check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road or online at fastenersinc.net.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Ready to make this Christmas unforgettable? Shop early and save at Prestigio Jewelers' biggest Black November sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LT's in high country in stock at Maida Chevy. Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's try.
Not available with special financing, leasing, time of offers. Ends 12/1/24. Source internet search 11/2/24.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
More minutes, no crosstalk as the guys are getting ready, getting you set for the game tonight at Golden One Center. Kyle Draper and, of course, Whitey Gleason, they're going to be hanging out, doing their thing at the Golden One Center. It is funny, Chris, because they are there before the game starts, so they're just kind of kicking it. They're just kicking it there.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess in my
doing
mind,
their show, but,
right? But in my mind, I'm thinking people are around and cheering them on like a live show. But no,
you think this is a college football game day or something like that? You know, I'm sure you would love that. By the way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
it was
yeah.
Just like people.
Give me the helmet.
Come on.
Give me the helmet. Give me the jersey. Give me a piece of paper. Give me the stat line.
I mean, he kind of gets that with the NBC broadcast, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Like,
no, for sure.
And well,
for sure.
It's different now. They switch the camera angles. Kings fans go a little too rowdy.
Yeah. That was.
Oh, is
bound
that
to
something?
happen. Yeah. That needed to happen probably. Yeah. Earlier.
There's some funny.
Who could have saw that
up.
coming?
I liked it, but I
understand.
understand. Yeah, it sucks. Some people ruin it for everyone.
You give people an inch, they take a yard.
I know.
What's your name, son? How many games Kings winning?
Why do you have these trash takes?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
All right. Well, let's see if the Kings can get it done tonight, Chris. I would imagine a bit of a short preview since we just saw these dudes and they are somehow just as injured as last time, maybe even worse. What's going on with this Kings Raptors preview?
As we know, first and foremost, it is the Davion Mitchell return to Sacramento. Off Night makes his return. Will there be a tribute video? Still yet to be determined. I guess we'll have to maybe do a little bit of investigative journalism before the game to see if we can get an answer on that. But nonetheless, Davion returns to Sacramento. Davion had a pretty decent game against the Kings. Definitely nothing incredible, but 5 steals for him. I'm sure he's hanging his hat on that. But besides that, 2 of 6 from the field, 4 points, 7 assists, which is good for him. Unfortunately, 5 turnovers on top of that. Don't love to see that assist to turnover ratio. 4 fouls for Davion in that game the other Saturday. What was that 2 Saturdays ago? Was that last Saturday? That was last Saturday. That's crazy that it was just that soon. It feels like it was forever ago already. Like you said, Toronto just as injured as they were last time. Pretty much the same exact injury report. No Emmanuel Quickley, no Scotty Barnes, no Kelly Olynyk, and no Bruce Brown for the Raptors tonight. So they will yet again be down all of their best players. Didn't seem to matter much last time, but this time they don't have the crowd behind them. They don't have the energy of it being Vince Carter's retirement jersey retirement. However, Grady Dick has been on fire to start this season. 5 of his last 6 games, he's had at least 20 points. So he's been their main contributor on the offensive end. And like we saw in the last time, Jakob Poeltl has fouled out in back-to-back games so far. And starting which was that first game against the Kings where he fouled out before overtime. I think that's going to be a key for tonight's game. Both of those things, keeping Grady Dick at least manageable. Now, if he gets 20, I think that's fine. Again, they don't have many scores, so he's probably going to be putting up a ton of them. But if you can hold his scoring to anywhere close to 20, I think that's a good recipe for success. And getting Jakob Poeltl in foul trouble is absolutely paramount. They really don't have many other bigs. I don't expect Chris Boucher to have a career night like he had last time against the Kings, and that's really their best defense or their best depth big man for them to throw out there. So if you can get Jakob Poeltl in foul trouble, hold Grady Dick to somewhere near 20 points, if not obviously less, I think that's leading to an easy Kings victory. And frankly, I mean, it really shouldn't matter. Regardless, it should be a really easy win for this team as the Raptors, like you said earlier, only 2 wins on the season, and one of those was already against the Kings. I think they should have revenge on their mind, and realistically, there should be no reason why they don't take the Raptors more seriously.
There you go. And that's great stuff by you, Chris. Yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, this thing, again, we're about to do prop talk. This is a game where I've learned,
like you said, yep, you always say this, you're on it.
Yeah, I've learned that this should be a game where you're going under on somebody because they're not playing the fourth. Here's a kicker though, not to do the segment before the segment. You got to make sure you pick the right person.
Right.
Because you have to build the lead some way.
Somehow.
So somebody's going to go off.
Somebody's got to go off. Right.
But you just hope that you don't pick that person. But yeah, I think this is a situation where you look at what the Kings have on tap coming up, Chris, and you got to take on the Clippers on Friday. You do get a day off there. Then you have that back-to-back Sunday, Monday where you go to take on the Suns in Phoenix, and then you go to San Antonio. This, I know you had a day off or so, but this would be a good opportunity for the Kings to play, be done in the early fourth. Everybody is chilling, and then after that, you take on the Clippers and get ready for that mini road trip. So that's what should happen.
It'd be great. Yeah, it'd be great to get 15 minutes of Jordan McLaughlin tonight. Get some minutes for Isaac Jones, Colby Jones, all the guys. If we see the Kings bench, it'd be great. It is. It's exactly what we said last time, as a matter of fact, and it didn't happen. So hopefully this time at home, you take care of business. It'd be so nice. Yeah, if we can see some bench players tonight with the Kings route. And, we know DeMar, obviously, I'm sure he still feels ways regardless of if it's in Toronto or not. I'm sure every time he plays the Raptors, he wants to show that fan base he's still got it. He's still the guy. And, who knows? Maybe the whole Drake thing, maybe it lights a little bit of a fire behind him, because maybe he's saying like, man, it was kind of a bit of a joke for the organization to even let that clown on the broadcast, and to let what did you expect Drake was going to do when you put him on the broadcast? Did you not think he was going to mention DeMar at all? Maybe DeMar does take it a little bit personally, and maybe he's got some words after the game for them. But of course, you have to take care of business first, and that's all hype and pregame speak and things like that. Once the ball's rolled out, I'm sure none of that stuff really matters. But I think ideally it would be great if the Kings could just take care of business from Jump Street today. Don't give the Raptors. This should be a wire-to-wire victory for the Kings. Don't even worry about any sort of upset. Don't make people nervous. And again, we need a quick night tonight. Everybody collectively needs a quick night tonight. So hopefully the Kings can deliver.
Maybe it'll be an off night.
Well, I hope not. I really hope it's not
for
gonna be
the
an off
Raptors.
Night. There we go.
With off night in the building.
Yeah.
What was that they played?
Off night. Yes, yeah, they did. I forgot that they literally like engineered that song for it.
What if they accidentally played it?
That gets I wonder if it will. Maybe it will. Maybe that's like a checking in now. Davion Mitchell off night,
and then
that's
done.
it.
No
That's
vid.
it.
No vid.
Yeah. I think that's fine because is he starting tonight? That's the other
That's
thing.
what I was going to say. If he
Toronto.
started, yeah.
Yeah, him starting complicates things from a video tribute standpoint. It's probably would be easier to just like, oh, he's about to check in. Let's do it all in the
They do a timeout, though. They
timeout
just use
break
a
and everything.
timeout.
Yeah, it can definitely be the first time out of the game. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm sure he's going to get something. And regardless of what it is, he's going to get a standing ovation. People love Davion, and I mean, there's definitely no ill will from Sacramento side of things at all.
Off night. Yeah.
I wonder how he feels about the whole situation.
I think it's a very much there's nothing. I mean, it just didn't work. Right?
He might be thinking though, like, man, y'all drafted me. You kind of like were always holding me back. Like you take me with Tyrese and De'Aaron still there. Maybe I would have rather have gone somewhere else. And then at the first opportunity, just because I didn't score or didn't produce maybe at a level that was acceptable for a number 9 pick because you never gave me an opportunity. I just wonder if that's how he feels or if maybe he sees maybe some of the reality of the situation and is like, obviously they gave me a role that I could thrive in and they gave me a playoff opportunity to thrive in and they gave it to me until they took it away from me. But I'm just wondering how many bad feelings, if at all, there are any for Davion.
Right. There's a version of, I'm not sure you knew what you were selecting or I'm not really sure that you had a solid enough plan for me to kind of get this done. All right. One more segment, prop talk and dog segment. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda deal, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named a top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at HagenOaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Rodeo's 17-year anniversary bash this Saturday night with a free tri-tip dinner. That's right, free tri-tip dinner and free late-night biscuits and gravy. So don't miss Stoney's 17-year anniversary bash this Saturday night, plus free dance lessons, sing some karaoke, or ride Stoney's mechanical ball. I'll see you on the dance floor.
Now here's what I want you all to do for me.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Prop talk and nose. On the 530, getting back to our conversation on the most teammates. I have not checked this. I already got centelled on this show today, but 530 says CP3 has had 228 different teammates. So that would definitely, I think, what was Jeff Green at 260 something? That would check out to me. I don't know, 530, if you looked that up or if you counted them up yourself, but thank you. I believe it.
It's available. I just Googled it. CP3 different teammates, and it says 273 throughout his career. So
530, you are incorrect. You're off by 50.
273. Yep.
So he's close. I mean, he's close.
Close, yeah. I don't know if he did the math himself or what.
No, I'm saying CP3 is close to Jeff Green.
Close to Jeff Green. Yeah.
All right, there you have it, guys. Let's get back into some prop talk. And let's start here with Chris Watkins. Do you have something? You want me to start?
Yeah, if you got something, you can get it going. I think it's the one I was looking at was a Kevin Huerter prop, and then I remembered that there's a chance that Kevin Huerter doesn't play today. He is questionable with that illness still, but I saw on our prop side here, Kevin Huerter 0.5 free throws made. In the spirit of Nate, I did really like that.
Chris, I wrote that already. Did
you really?
That? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
was gonna say. So
that's hilarious.
I wrote two props. I wrote Huerter if he plays, and then I have a backup that if he didn't play, what would happen. So
okay, well you can take
the
no, yeah, you can have that. Yeah, you can have that. Yes, and I was also going to take the over on it.
That seems so like such a
pretty
lock.
Weird.
If he's not, I know he doesn't shoot that many, but
he's been doing the floater thing lately, though.
Yeah, he's been trying to get to or he's been in the paint. He's been getting to the line a little bit, but if Huerter didn't play, I have 3.5 offensive rebounds for Domantas Sabonis. Taking the over on that all day. Last game against the Raptors, the man had 7 offensive rebounds, and I think he had 20 altogether if you include defensive. So those two are just like, that seems low-hanging fruit to me.
Kevin Huerter this season has taken 0 free throws. Last year in 64 games, he took 47. So
Kevin Huerter's taken 0 free throws?
0 free throws so far this season. Through 5 games. But yeah, 130 minutes, not a single free throw.
That does not seem right to me at all.
It is.
That's crazy.
Let me tell you.
Wow, I'm
again 47 free throws last year in 64 games. So he's averaging less than a free throw attempt per game over the past 2 years. So there's that. But even then, Nate, I would have been with you in taking the Kevin Huerter over half. You took but you ended up taking the Sabonis 3.5 over rebounds. I do like that number. I'm going to look at DeMar DeRozan today, and let's see here. There is 2.5 threes, which if I had to guess, I would put under on that. That's
for DeMar DeRozan.
For DeMar DeRozan attempts. Attempts.
Okay.
Yeah, I would put under on that, but instead, I'm going to go the over DeMar DeRozan 6.5 free throws. That to me is probably a really good number. I mean, it feels like. That's also free throws made, so he's got to be converting on the given night. But it feels like DeMar is going to the line. If I had to guess, I'm pulling it up right now. If I had to guess, I'd say 7 to 8. I'll say 7.5 just for splitting the difference. And he is at 7.6 free throw attempts per game, so he's got to make. And he averages 6.6 makes. So I'll take the 6.5 and feel like it's going to be an average to above average game for DeMar today.
Guys, I'm looking here at something scary, but again, this stuff has to happen early. All right, and
is it a goblin or demon?
No, but it's a lot of red. Keegan Murray has not hit over 2.5 threes in a very long time.
Yeah, he's been a brick this season.
And I think he feels like he's taking less threes. You couple that with taking less threes as well. At least it feels like that with all the MIDI committee and what they've been doing. So he's due, baby. Give me Keegan Murray over 2.5 threes. It's going to happen early, Chris, and then second half is going to be easy cheese, no sweat, as the kids say. But, yeah, do I feel good about it? He's got to get them up.
Keegan has 2.5?
2.5 threes. Give me the over. Keegan, he made 1 3 against the Heat, 2 3s against the Raptors last time, 1 3 against the Hawks, 2 3s against the Jazz, 0 against the Blazers.
Yeah. First game of the year, he was 5 of 10. That's the only time he's hit over 2 this season so far.
He's coming home. A home-cooked meal. What do you think Keegan's favorite meal is? I'm sure
I believe he's
social
hamburgers.
Oh, I was going to say
hamburgers and French fries.
Frozen chicken nuggets.
No cheese.
No. I can't imagine how frustrating it would be
ketchup.
to be like these millionaires that are then like, come on, Keegan, like we're out on the road. Like let's go out to dinner. And he's like, I don't want anything from the menu.
All right.
Can we get McDonald's?
Yeah. Well, seriously.
We have McDonald's at home.
I did try the Krabby Patty, Chris.
Not good.
No.
Not good.
That's not the chicken one?
Not good at all. No,
that's the chicken.
Oh, Wendy's is
Wendy's. It was not good.
It was not good. Yeah, no redeeming qualities about it. Like nothing where it's even like, oh, maybe if you leave.
The sauce was okay.
I barely got any.
Yeah.
Is there special sauce on a Krabby Patty?
Allegedly.
Yeah. It was. Oh, it wasn't.
How did they get the
In-N-Out
secret
sauce.
formula before Plankton?
Crabs is a sellout.
Yeah,
dude.
everything's got a
dude,
price,
Freaking
man.
sellout.
Yeah, everything's got a price. All right, before we get into our dogs, guys, while we have some time, let's do some predictions on the game, on the actual score of the game. If you take a look at the Kings and what they did against the Raptors last time, it was 131 to 128. That's a lot of points, guys. Overtime, yes. Thank you, Chris. Kings, they did beat the Heat 111 to 110. There is no way that this Raptors team should get past, I want to say 105. Okay. And really, I don't even think it should be that high. Guys, give me 120. I'll say that there was some mop-up duty going on. Give me 113 to 104. That's what I'm going with. It'll look closer than it actually was. They won't cover.
Obviously, Kings win.
Kings win.
Yeah, I'll say 128 to 108.
I'm really
Smack fest.
I don't want to be a downer. I'm not used to DeRozan yet.
Nate, are you going to say the Raptors are going to win?
I just think it's another trap game for the Kings. This is just what they do. But the Kings,
what are you doing?
They pull it out tonight, though.
No. Be real. Say it with your chest, Nate.
I do think it's going to be too close for comfort, but lower scoring than the last one. No OT. I'll say 108, 105 Kings.
Gross.
Oh my gosh. Well, then we should be taking overs for everything.
That's gross.
There you go. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass, just enjoying his time doing some digital art, it looks like. There you go, Kyle, on Photoshop or something like that. All right, Nate, dog segment.
Not who let the dogs out, please. Just not that.
Who let the
No,
dogs
I don't have
out?
anything
Who
else.
let the
That was not a bit.
It was just ready to go.
They won,
It was
Chris.
definitely
They
not
won last
ready to
game.
go.
Well,
it's time.
It was as ready as I could be.
It's time. It's time. All right. 916-339-1140. Sack chat as well on YouTube. Text line. Who's your dog tonight? Who is your dog tonight? We want to know. We will read them off as we go.
Trey Lyles movement.
Nate, is that you?
No,
that was Legend of Loser.
Yeah, that was LOL.
Okay. Who's your dog tonight?
Interesting. I'm going to say Malik Monk. I think him and Davion have some fun battles out there on the court. I think it goes back and forth.
Yeah, I really wanted to take Malik Monk. Not available. I think that's because of the Kevin Huerter question mark. But honestly, I wanted to take Malik Monk. I didn't see him on Prop Talk.
Oh.
I wanted to see him. But, Chris, what we were just discussing as far as the as far as the early returns, I think this is a huge game for Malik Monk because he is one of those guys coming off the bench. Somebody got to be out there, and I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout that Coach Mike Brown is just going to have, a full-blown summer league squad out there. So I think Malik eats today. That's who's going to be my dog.
Got 2 Monk shouts. I want to take DeMar DeRozan, but I think we've agreed that sometimes taking some of the best players on the team, frankly, can be a little bit of a cop out unless it would have to take something really special for it to look doggish.
Like a 4-point play late.
4-point play late in the game definitely constitutes dog-like behavior.
The man also ties his shoes.
You know what? We'll go Keegan Murray. Keegan needs a big game tonight. And like you said, he's got the home crowd behind him. He misses the Keegan Murray chance. Let's hope that it's tonight, because if not, we might have to start having some dialogues about – I don't know what the dialogue would be, but just is he going to hop out of it? Because there needs to be more attention if Keegan Murray has another off night tonight.
Is there enough – is it more, Chris, for you? Is it more about – Keegan missing shots, or do you think he's not shooting enough from the perimeter?
I think he's missing shots.
Okay.
He's definitely, the missing shots is a really big problem. Because he's getting wide open looks and he's just straight missing them off the rim. And, normally with Keegan too, it's like a depth perception thing where it's either long or short. I've seen a lot of left or rights this year, and I think that's really concerning. And it's a theory I have. I have not heard a single NBA player confirm it, but I wonder, as your body develops, and especially with a guy like Keegan, as you get more muscular, I wonder if that affects your shooting touch, just because, hey, you get stronger, you can throw a baseball 5 extra yards with the same amount of effort. Does the same work for shooting, where, hey, Keegan's been just letting it fly off his fingertips his whole life. Well, now he's naturally a little bit stronger. Now when he shoots that, is there some pushback with the shot, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Amid Rock Domas is my dog. Triple-double. Manny too legit. My dog tonight will be De'Aaron. He's going for a 30-piece. Curtis Hicks. My dog is De'Aaron tonight. He's cooking Raptor meat. And the 209 Kevin Huerter balls tonight. It makes 5 threes. Dog in all caps. Thanks for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Drive Guys up next. Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper. Thanks to all the callers.